Welcome to the fantasy audiobook. Naruto. I have Super Saiyan JinchuRiki inside me. Chapter 1. Konoha. The night sky in autumn makes people feel a little lonely and desolate. A few stars dance in the distance and disappear in the night sky after a while. The sky is as black as ink. A blood-colored full moon hung high in the sky, looking so coquettish against the backdrop of the vast white land. The blood moon in the sky is an ominous omen. Uchiha Fugaku, who is in his 30s, looks at the blood-red moon in the sky, and has an ominous premonition in his heart. Why are you so uneasy? Single quote. Fugaku paced back and forth in his courtyard, and as time passed, the ominous premonition in his heart became stronger. With his current strength, under normal circumstances, this would never happen. The last time I had this premonition was more than 20 years ago, when I participated in the Ninja World War. I discussed with Minato about the future of the Uchiha family a few days ago, and the results are very good. Single quote. Relying on the identity of his daughter-in-law and Mrs. Hokage as best friends, Fugaku, the patriarch of the Uchiha clan, also successfully got in touch with Konoha's leader, 4th Hokage. In addition, the age difference between the two is not too big, and there are many topics in common. Fugaku admires the purpose of the 4th generation, and the 4th generation respects Fugaku's calmness, and they have a close personal relationship. With 4th generation's suave temper and penultimate's ability, few people will feel bad for him. Could it be that the proposed 3rd generation Sama didn't agree? Or is someone getting in the way? Elder Advisory Group. Or Elder Danzo. Single quote. Even so, Uchiha's future is sure to be bright, as long as Minato can fully hold the rights to Hokage, as long as Hokage is still water. Before Fugaku could finish his emotion, the loud sound resounded through the sky accompanied by the vibration of the earth. Looking in the direction of the sound, Uchiha Fugaku froze in place, his eyes widened and his pupils shrank sharply. Fugaku's entire face became distorted with a look of astonishment and shock. But he didn't have time to care about this. At this moment, he understood why he was uneasy. What caught the eye was a behemoth tens of meters high, a red behemoth with 9 tails. 9 tails. Roar. The resentful roar echoed in Konoha. Oops. Something happened to Kushina. Uchiha Fugaku's pupils instantly turned blood red, and the tadpole-like black goo twirled wildly in the pupils, which is the symbolic ability of the Uchiha clan. Sharingan. Uchiha, who have not opened their eyes, immediately evacuate the elderly and children, and escort them to a safe place. Uchiha elites who have opened the Sharingan, gather at my place immediately. Fugaku made a decisive decision, organized the clan's people, and summoned the clan's elite ninjas, planning to rescue them. With the relationship between Fugaku and Minato, it is natural to know the status of Kushina, the wife of the 4th generation, in the heart of the 4th generation. Even if it is to take his own life, Kushina must be kept. 4th Hokage Namikaze Minato is Uchiha's only hope. He is the only high-ranking Konoha who does not reject Uchiha. There must be no accident. At this time, a dozen black figures wearing animal masks suddenly appeared in front of Uchiha Fugaku, and the leader with 2 double knives pinned to his back stopped Uchiha Fugaku, his tone as cold as the 12th lunar month of winter. Clan Chief Fugaku, Lord Danzo has issued an order that all members of the Uchiha clan are not allowed to leave the residence. Immediately investigate the whereabouts of all Uchiha today. Otherwise, they will be dealt with as traitors, and they will be killed on the spot. What? The words of the leader are like pouring cold water into a frying pan, and the frying pan explodes in an instant. Why against us Uchiha? Just you Anbu ninjas. The Uchihas who came here because of Fugaku's order glared at each other. The grumpy Uchiha has already pulled out his kunai and is ready to fight at any time. Master Fugaku. A few Uchihas took the initiative to challenge Uchiha Fugaku. As long as Uchiha Fugaku gives an order, they can immediately tear the ninjas in black in front of them. But Fugaku was staring at 9 tails in the distance in a daze at this time, his hands and feet were cold, his whole body was trembling, and his face was full of bitterness. 9 tails, who is raging in the village, has the eyes of a Sharingan. Someone took control of 9 tails with a Sharingan. And the whole ninja world knows that only the Uchiha clan has Sharingan. There's no way to explain it here. The yellow mud fell into the crotch, and it was either shit or shit. Master Fugaku, are you going to disobey Danzo-sama's order? The masked ninjas in black looked at Uchiha Fugaku coldly, and their tone was even more threatening. The atmosphere became anxious for a while. Fugaku knew that these masked ninjas in black were not directly under Hokage's Anbu, but belonged to Konoha Elder Danzo's personal unit, Konoha Root Ninja. These people are more ruthless, cold-blooded and stronger than Anbu's ninjas. Fugaku waved his hand, signaling for the Uchihas to back down. Although upset, the Uchihas still obeyed the Patriarch's order, but instead of leaving, they gathered more and more to confront the Root Ninjas. By this time, Fugaku had already realized the abnormality. The Root Ninja was obviously near Uchiha's station, otherwise he wouldn't have arrived so soon. Just don't know if these Root Ninjas have always been near the Uchiha station, or if they were there in the first place. If it is the former, it means that the Root is monitoring Uchiha. If it is the latter, it is a big conspiracy against Uchiha. Neither the former nor the latter is good news for Uchiha. Danzo. Fugaku's eyes narrowed slightly. Trust Minato. Single quote. Now I can only trust Minato. Single quote. As fourth Hokage Namikaze Minato, who Uchiha Fugaku had hoped for, had just used the Flying Thunder God technique to dodge attacks and use the Rasengan to drive a man wearing a tiger-striped mask into the ground. After a few breaths, he used the Space Ninjutsu Flying Thunder God technique again and disappeared in place. Where am I? So cold and so tired. Under the altar, a blonde baby struggled to open his eyes. I don't remember me. What came into view was a huge fox head that was steaming and baring teeth, very close at hand. My heart is nothing but shit or shit. Nine-tails fox riding face. Years later, Konoha village. A small figure shuttled through the bustling Konoha streets, and the bustling streets instantly became deserted. Men, women, and children all avoided that small figure, just like avoiding the plague god. Accompanied by extremely small whispers. That, here again. It's really unlucky. Every time I see it, I will get sick every time I go back. The vitality was stolen by that. Why isn't it dead, freak? Master fourth generation is also because of it. Die, die, die. Quote. Vicious language, as well as indifference and disgust, as well as hatred that is so thick that it will overflow. 3 years have passed since the Nine-Tails Demon Fox Rebellion. Konoha lost a lot that night. Many ninjas died under the ravages of Nine-Tails, many people lost fathers, mothers or children. The hero of Konoha, the fourth Hokage Namikaze Minato, who gave up the mission after encountering on the Rock Shadow battlefield is not a failure, also died because of sealing Nine-Tails. Few people know that his wife, Uzumaki Kushina, also died together. Not many people know that the fourth generation couple actually have a child. Oh, maybe a lot of people actually know that. However, no one said it for various reasons. This is a no-no. A taboo that most people know about. The small figure that shuttled among the crowd quickly crossed the street and disappeared into the forest path in the street. The bustling streets became lively again. Let me see what I have harvested today. The little figure crossed the street, crossed the forest path, and stopped until he came to a small stream. He bent down and picked something by the stream. Under the reflection of the stream, the golden hair and the immature and resolute little face appeared. A net like a cage was lifted up by the little figure. People who often go to sea will recognize it when they see it. This kind of net is placed on the shore or in the water and is specially used to catch fish and shrimp. Although sometimes there are some weird things on the internet. My name is Uzumaki Naruto, a time traveler, and now an orphan. Single quote. On the day I was born, I saw my parents die in front of my eyes. Single quote. It was a handsome man with a very sunny smile, and a red-haired woman who looked at me with very gentle eyes. Single quote. It's been 3 years since I came to this world, and the people in the village didn't like me, so half a year ago I left the hut where I lived and moved here. Single quote. As time went on, I remembered more and more of the past. Single quote. Little Naruto stood up and looked in the direction of the bustling street before. I don't like it there, and the people there don't like me either. Single quote. I like it here, it's peaceful and natural. Although life requires self-sufficiency, it is a bit hard, but at least what I eat is normal food. Single quote. There is no mold, no smelly and sour smell, and no weird things. Single quote. Little Naruto picked up the net and carefully identified the captured results. This net was picked up by little Naruto by the river, and it was broken when it was picked up, but little Naruto patched it up bit by bit. Today's lunch is to eat grilled fish and crab. Little Naruto showed a rare smile. 3 10-centimeter sized fish and a small palm-sized crab, together with some wild vegetables and rice, are the lunch of little Naruto. Pour the remaining fish and shrimp in the net into a simple fish pond built with stones and mud, which was made by little Naruto himself, to store food. Next to the fish pond, there is a trace of a small piece of cultivated land, a simple garden, in which are planted wild vegetables and other crops transplanted by Naruto from other places. A small wooden house less than 5 square meters, with a bed and a few clothes inside. That's all little Naruto has. Killing fish guts, scraping fish scales, and grilling fish all in one go. After killing 2 fish and 1 crab, and was about to kill the last small fish, little Naruto felt a faint malice floating not far away. Very light malice, mixed with other more complex auras. Malicious perception. Little Naruto was born with strength. In this life, he found that his physical fitness was surprisingly good, and his 5 senses were very keen. He even developed this magical ability to perceive the malice of nearby creatures towards him. This is also the reason why Mingming moved out when he was only 3 years old. At the same time, it is also the reason why little Naruto is unwilling to stay in the Muyi Fanhua area. The malice towards little Naruto from the people on Konoha Street was so strong that it suffocated him. An old man in a red and white robe, a bamboo hat, and a pipe in his mouth slowly appeared in little Naruto's field of vision. Third Hokage. Hello, Grandpa 3rd generation. Looking at the person coming, little Naruto showed a sweet smile to him, and said in a childlike voice. It's just that the smile is somewhat formulaic. Naruto, I'm here to see you. 3rd generation took a sip of his pipe, looked at little Naruto and said cheerfully. That seemingly benevolent smile was more formulaic than that of little Naruto. How's life here recently? Little Naruto felt that the faint malice on the opponent became slightly stronger. It can be seen that 3rd generation is not very happy about the fact that Naruto Jr. has moved out to live. Grandpa 3rd generation, try it. Little Naruto handed the remaining piece of grilled fish to 3rd generation, tilted his head, and looked distressed. It tastes bitter, but it's not bad. 3rd generation's heart moved, and the malice on his body dissipated a little. Then why did Naruto move out? 3rd generation said casually while eating grilled fish. Anyway, everyone doesn't like me, so we might as well move out. Little Naruto shook his head, looking sullen. The inadvertent words, with a 3-point grievance in the loss, really make people feel distressed. Be guilty, as long as you feel guilty, I can live better for the time being. Single quote. As expected, 3rd generation touched the little Naruto's head with a little distress, and the malice on his body faded a little. Just when 3rd generation was about to say something to little Naruto, a black-clothed ninja wearing an animal mask suddenly came out and whispered a few words into 3rd generation's ear. 3rd generation's face changed slightly, and he immediately got up to talk to little Naruto, bid farewell. With little Naruto's 5 senses surpassing ordinary people, he could only vaguely hear a few syllables, but could not fully identify them. Sarutobi, don't let the 9 tails Jinchuriki leave our sight too far. 9 tails are the most important weapon in the village, said a one-eyed old man with a cane and bandages all over his body. Absolutely nothing can go wrong. Shimura Danzo, Elder Konoha, holds the real power at the root of Konoha. If you're soft-hearted, give me 9 tails, and my roots will make him a fine tool. 9 tails Jinchuriki is impossible to hand over to you, Danzo. He is not your tool. Before Danzo could finish speaking, 3rd generation said firmly. Sarutobi, don't you want to make Jinchuriki alone? Let's end some things here. Before Danzo could finish his last few words, he was interrupted again by 3rd generation. Danzo, don't forget that I am Hokage. Danzo stared at 3rd generation with half-closed one eye for a while, and then said viciously, Sarutobi, you will regret it. After speaking, he turned around and left. From the beginning to the end, no one cared. What they called 9 tails Jinchuriki was actually called Uzumaki Naruto. Not long after 3rd generation returned from Naruto, a ban was placed on everyone in Konoha village from talking about Naruto behind their backs. Human beings are very strange. The more they are forbidden to do something, the more they want to do it, and then they find various reasons for themselves to justify what they can do. Naruto returned from hunting and returned to the hut. Seeing the scene in front of him, he couldn't speak for a long time. The nets used to catch fish were torn to shreds, the small fish pond was smashed to pieces, the fish and shrimp raised in it were trampled to death, all kinds of crops were uprooted, and the small wooden house was turned into a pile of debris. Some yellow liquid was smeared on the clothes and bedding. It took Naruto half a month to build these things bit by bit. Although simple, they are very warm. But now there are none. Home, it's gone. The villagers dare not disobey Master Hokage's order, and dare not talk behind their backs, but it is understandable to pass by, occasionally, and, inadvertently, destroy the magic lair of the demon fox, right? Perhaps someone else contributed to it. Why do you say that? Because when Naruto saw someone again, the malice on the other person doubled. After all, a tool like JinchuRiki still needs to be in your hands to be at ease. I was so naive that I would have hoped for third generation with guilt. In his heart, the fact that I am Nine Tails JinchuRiki is more important than that I am Naruto the Whirlpool. Single quote. Nine Tails JinchuRiki, Uzumaki Naruto. It seems that both are Naruto, but there is an essential gap between the two. Simply put, Nine Tails JinchuRiki is the village's weapon, and Uzumaki Naruto is the son of the fourth generation. Lost, angry, find the culprit. No, it doesn't make any sense. Naruto took a deep breath and let it out slowly. With a tone that doesn't belong to his age at all, he said hoarsely, I really didn't expect human malice to make people sick to such an extent. It is possible to do this to a child who is harmless to humans and animals, or even has not done any harmful behavior. I really hate this place. This village is called Konoha. Fourth generation, what have you guarded? Naruto returned to the place where he lived in the first place, an apartment, neither big nor small, with a living room and a bedroom. Although it is an apartment, there should be people living in the neighbors, but in fact, there is no one living on this floor except Naruto. Feeling the malice coming from all around, Naruto walked to the mirror, looked at himself in the mirror and said lightly, stay here for now. Strive to be strong. In the ninja world, big fists are the last word. Compared with the wild, the only advantage of living in the village is that you don't have to find food by yourself, and there is a third generation purpose to speak, and there are no weird things in the food. It's just that Naruto can't go to restaurants to eat normally except for buying some basic daily necessities. Almost all shops don't welcome small Naruto, except for a ramen shop called Ichiraku Ramen. If you don't know how to cook, the only thing you can eat is instant noodles and milk. Fortunately, Naruto can cook. The days of practice are very boring. Due to the lack of teaching, Naruto can only do some physical exercises. Naruto knows everything about treading water, climbing trees, and Rasengan, but he lacks one of the most basic things, the premise to realize all these things. He doesn't know how to extract chakra. Without Chatanla, everything above is bullshit. The current Naruto is not old enough for Jonin school, and besides, it is not necessarily agreed that he will go to the ninja school. If JinchuRiki is not stable enough, it is quite dangerous to put it in a ninja school. Ding dong ding dong. The sound of water dripping woke Naruto up, and he opened his eyes, and what he saw was a place like a basement. This is here. Naruto's eyes widened instantly, and he screamed excitedly. Finally able to reach this place. This is the space inside Naruto, where the sealed nine tails are held. I can't practice it by myself, but as long as I find nine tails, I will find a way to perceive chakra. Naruto got up from the ground, as if he suddenly thought of something, looked at the ground and touched his body, obviously lying on the wet floor, but there was no trace of being wet on his body. So amazing. Single quote. The surrounding light was very dim, and Naruto could only vaguely recognize the surrounding environment. Although the place is empty, there is only one way to go. Soon, Naruto came to a huge iron gate. In the center of the iron gate, there was a seal marked with incomprehensible symbols. It really is right here. Naruto suppressed the excitement in his heart, he had already thought about what to say next. Finally, the wait came, my own plugin. The most powerful of the legendary Nine Tails Kurama. Seeing the approaching figure inside the iron gate through the dim light, Naruto took a deep breath, afraid that the other party would not hear him, and shouted with all his strength. Should the stinky fox pay the rent? When Naruto saw who was coming, there was a nine-tails demon fox with 9 tails in front of him, but a man in his 20s and 30s, with a hedgehog head and wearing an orange Taoist uniform. The most important point is that there is something like a halo on the opponent's head. Who are you? Naruto's first reaction. I seem to have seen it somewhere. Looking at the somewhat familiar deja vu, Naruto's second reaction. Yo, the man raised his left hand and greeted Naruto, I'm Monkey King. Ha ha ha, I've been waiting here for a long time and I haven't seen a single person. I thought there were no humans here. Has the underworld become like this now? Where is Uncle Hades? By the way, do you have anything to eat there? Although you don't need to eat after becoming a dead person, you always feel your stomach is rumbling. The man seemed to have opened up a chatterbox, chattering a lot of unclear things like a cannonball. Sun Wukong, Hades, Uncle Yan Wang still has an aperture. Where does it seem to have been heard? Looking at the man, Naruto has a very strong sense of deja vu, and gradually the image of the man overlaps more and more with a certain figure in his heart. Suddenly Naruto's eyes lit up, he clenched his fist with his right hand and hammered the palm of his left hand, then pointed at him and shouted, "It's you. Kakarot." Ah! Unexpectedly, after hearing Naruto's words, the other party frowned and muttered dissatisfiedly at Naruto. Do you know my big brother Raditz? Why do you call me by the same name as Raditz? My name is not Kakarot, I am Sun Wukong, a Saiyan who grew up on Earth. Kakarot, also known as Sun Wukong, is a Saiyan who grew up on the Earth from the 7 Dragon Ball worlds. The Saiyans are a fighting nation that exists in the universe in the 7 Dragon Ball worlds, advocating force and taking pride in fighting. Once loyal to the universe Emperor Frieza, because of Frieza's suspicion and order of some kind of destruction god, he destroyed the entire Vegeta planet, leaving only a few Saiyans surviving and living on the Earth. This is a random bombing of the moon in the early stage. Kameshirin bombed the moon and Piccolo bombed the moon, bombing the planet randomly in the middle stage, the death bomb of Frieza planet, and bombing the solar system Kamepa Chigung in the Sharu solar system, and in the later stage, one careless and even the universe, a super high war and high risk world that will be easily erased. Compared with the Hokage, whose top combat power only seals a moon, it is completely incomparable with the 7 Dragon Balls in terms of combat power. Maybe any random fish from the Frieza Legion in the Frieza chapter also has the ability to erase the world of Hokage. When the strongest on my side was still dancing on the surface of the local planet, the other side had already blown up the planet for fun. Then the question arises, why is Kakarot from another world sealed in his body? What about 9 Tails? Shouldn't he be killed by Kakarot because of his stinky mouth? Or, eaten? Naruto tried his best to find 9 Tails through the dim light and through the sealed iron gate. To his disappointment, 9 Tails was not seen in the sealed space. How could such a big 9 Tails disappear? This is a big cheat for me. Mr. Kasun, may I ask if you saw a big fox? Naruto gestured at Kakarot anxiously, he didn't want his bug to disappear inexplicably. Kakarot thought for a moment, turned around and said, "Big fox. I didn't see it. I'm the only one here. Oh, I'm the only dead person. Did you see the halo on my head? It's only after death. By the way, why don't you have a halo on your head?" Because I'm not dead yet. Then Mr. Sun, why are you here? Naruto continued to ask, trying to find the reason through analysis. I don't know why I'm here. I remember that I was practicing on King Realm, and then I suddenly came here when I woke up. Isn't this the underworld? Why is the cold atmosphere around it similar to the underworld? The breath of hell, the sealed space in my body. I still have to practice, and soon there will be 2 Super Saiyans coming to Earth. I really look forward to fighting them. The gravity here is much worse than that of Kaiwangshing, and the body is going to rust. Kakarot muttered for a long time, like a nagging old lady. However, Naruto also roughly deduces the timeline of Kakarot in front of him from the information revealed by Kakarot's words. It should be the time period when he and his big brother Raditz died together, and went to the King Planet to practice through the underworld, that is, when he just entered the era of the big universe and the Dragon Balls chapter opened not long ago. Mr. Sun, can't you come out? Naruto interrupted Kakarot suddenly. It stands to reason that Kakarot can get out through the gap in the sealed iron door. 9 Tails is too big to get out, but Kakarot's size is definitely no problem. I can't go out, it seems that there is a force preventing me from doing so. Kakarot folded his hands on his chest, frowning and said, from the tone of his voice, it seemed that he had suffered a lot. It can stop Monkey King with a combat power of at least 4,000, so it's no problem for this combat power to blow up smaller planets. When did the 8-sign seal in my body become so strong? Turning around the location of the seal again, but still not finding any trace of Nine Tails, Naruto sat down on the ground with a dejected expression, intending to accept the reality. Theoretically speaking, as a member of the Uzumaki family, even if there is no Nine Tails, the chakra in my body is at least at the Chidora level, at least dozens of calories. And without the interference of Nine Tails chakra, theoretically, his own strength can grow faster. Single quote. Thinking of this, Naruto's mood instantly improved a lot. Little one, what's the matter with you? It's strange to be sad for a while and happy for a while. Do you have anything to eat? I feel like my stomach is going to eat me up. Eat, 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 you know how to eat, you are dead, and you only know how to eat. Single quote. Naruto looked at Kakarot inside the seal with resentment. It's useless at all, can I still become a Saiyan JinchuRiki? Or Super Saiyan JinchuRiki? Saiyans don't even have a trace of chakra in their bodies, they are not from this world at all. Chatanla plugin is gone. The plugin is gone. Cheat. Naruto, who was staring at Kakarot, his eyes lit up suddenly when he glanced at the turtle character uniform printed on the opponent's chest. Lost a plugin, isn't this another one? Who is Kakarot? The protagonist of 7 Dragon Ball. From a trash with only 2 combat effectiveness, step by step, with sweat and hard work, he grows into the strongest existence in the universe. The martial arts master of the Dragon Ball world. Punch the king of the universe, kick the artificial man, surpass the king of the world, and defeat the existence of the devil Boo. How many things does he know? Afterimage fist, gas, turtle pie qigong, dancing kongshu, world king fist, vitality bomb. These skills are all god-level skills. Even if Kakarot in front of him has not become the strongest in the later stage, he is just the strongest on Earth. As long as you can learn a little bit, your own strength will grow like a rocket. A good master is not much worse than a powerful cheater. Others are grandpas with me, and I am number 1 in the universe with another world in my stomach. Naruto stared at Kakarot with bright eyes, as if looking at a treasure house. Mr. Sun. Naruto suddenly raised his voice, bowed 90 degrees in the direction of Kakarot, and said loudly, please take me as an apprentice. Huh. Kakarot looked at little Naruto in a daze. Time seemed to go back to that day 10 years ago. A little bald man who came by boat said the same words with the same voice and tone. It's just that the little bald head is talking to his master, Gui Shanran, Grandpa Turtle, while this little guy is talking to himself. I miss it so much. Single quote. So the ghost blurted out. Okay. Naruto was overjoyed when he heard the words, and hurriedly called him master, but Kakarot waved his hand indifferently, and even thought the name was weird. I discovered a truth in my limited life, a ninja has limits, so I will stop being a ninja, help. Single quote. Who can be a crispy ninja who can make waves in biu in the sky? Your voice really resembles a friend of mine, but he has no nose and no hair. Do you know him? Are you talking about Klin, a tool man who can't be beaten and used for sacrifice? Single quote. In a sense, it is indeed recognition. Single quote. Teacher, do you really want to do this? Naruto swallowed, looking at the rushing water and the waterfall beyond sight, feeling his throat a little dry. Kakarot answered in the affirmative. Then, go. With a leap, Naruto jumped into the water with just a thud. Kakarot is a martial artist who learned from the martial arts god Kame Sennin, and he practices a kind of martial arts called Kame Sen Ryu. The purpose of Kamezen Ryu martial arts training is to exercise wholeheartedly during exercise, constantly squeeze physical strength, approach one's limit, and break through the limit. Rest is to completely relax, so that the exhausted body and spirit can be fully recovered after exercise. That is what Guishanran himself said. Exercise well, study hard, have fun, eat well, and rest well. While it sounds simple, it's not at all simple to implement. Few people can implement it without being affected by external factors. In addition to a high degree of concentration, there will always be one reason or another to be interrupted. It seems that they are just eating, drinking and having fun, but they are actually cultivating their Shinsheng. Pure and simple, back to basics. Under the guidance of Kame Sennin, Kakarot, who grew up to the Majin Buu period, is considered a martial arts master no matter what angle you look at. The basic training of Guixiangliu is also very simple. It is nothing more than doing 5 things well: swimming, delivering milk, studying, plowing the land, and moving bricks. At first glance, it sounds like just doing some ordinary work, and most workers can do it with a bit of a bite. In fact, apart from studying, it is not some ordinary practice. Swimming is a cross-sea swimming across the entire ocean. Milk delivery is carried out under the chase of huge dinosaurs. No props are allowed to be used to dig the cultivated land with bare hands. As for moving bricks, one person can be used as an engineering team. After being able to successfully meet these requirements, further practice will be carried out. Self-cultivation and mind cultivation, this is the mystery of Guixiangliu. What Naruto is doing now is one of them, swimming. When Kakarot was practicing, he was chased by sharks to swim, because there was no sea near Konoha, and there were no sharks, so Kakarot let little Naruto swim in the waterfall. Swim on the edge. Use the thrust of the water and the pressure of the waterfall to motivate Naruto to practice. A strong desire to survive will burst out with great power. And the power that erupts will become the nourishment for Naruto's growth. People need to be persecuted to move forward. Little one, remember what I told you, use your breathing correctly. Use unique force techniques, don't just use brute force. Kakarot's voice rang in Naruto's head. Guixianliu's practice is not simply reckless. After all, there is a limit to manpower. If you don't consider your own factors, it's called simply sending yourself to death, and it's easy to use yourself up. When doing these exercises, you need to cooperate with some unique breathing and techniques. Naruto immediately stopped his mind when he heard the words, recalling Kakarot's teaching in the sealed space in his mind. Take a deep breath, concentrate the breath, swing your left hand forward and then. He was swept away by the swift current. Now he is still too young to bear this kind of shock at all. Before falling into the waterfall, a ninja in black wearing a fox mask grabbed the back of his neck and lifted him up. As Nine-Tails JinchuRiki, it makes sense to have a few Anbu ninjas around, right? It is precisely because he can perceive the presence of Anbu nearby that Naruto dares to do such dangerous things recklessly. Thank you, big brother. Naruto ignored the malice on the other party and showed a sweet smile. In exchange for more intense malice. As expected, I have long been used to it. Naruto smiled self-deprecatingly. It doesn't matter. Single quote. But even if you don't like me anymore, you must save me. Single quote. What doesn't kill me only makes me stronger. Single quote. Naruto practiced Guixian style day and night. If no one asked to deliver milk, he would instead throw large stones at the house of the person who was most malicious to him. If no one needed to move bricks, he would remove the roof of the other party. Zheng then went to randomly select a lucky viewer who was the most malicious to him, and planed his home. Naruto dubbed it, Send Warmth. All in all, Naruto's practice under Kakarot's teaching, in the eyes of outsiders, is naughty, troublesome, causing trouble, and pranks. The villagers who have been pranked have complained to third generation, but it is of no use. As long as Naruto does not hurt others, third generation is also happy. It is inversely proportional to the hated villagers. From time to time, he goes to Naruto to show a wave of goodwill. He feels that Naruto will be more dependent on him if he does so. Naruto behaved just as third generation thought. Maybe it was true if he didn't have that faint malice about him. The performance of third generation in the face of villagers' complaints is very intriguing. No statement, no rejection. Without effective feedback, the villagers hated Naruto even more. Due to the third generation's ban, no one dared to do anything to Naruto. Even if they do, it is absolutely impossible for them to be opponents of Naruto who has practiced the Kamezen Ryu, even if Naruto is only 4 years old. Naruto doesn't care what other people think, even if he is an obedient baby, the villagers will not be less malicious towards him. From spring to autumn, Naruto became obsessed with cultivation, and a year passed like this. Just like rolling iron can be addictive, so too can cultivation. Another day full of malice. Good morning, Naruto. Feeling the malice pervading in all directions, Naruto said to himself in the mirror. Another boring and fulfilling day was about to begin. I have to say that Naruto's physique is really strong. No matter how tired or exhausted he was the day before, as long as he sleeps, he will still feel as energetic as if he had taken medicine the next day. It was also because of this talent that Naruto could barely keep up with the training Kakarot arranged for him. Little one, your training will be doubled from today. Kakarot's voice sounded in Naruto's heart. Compared to Kakarot, who is 1.75 meters tall, Naruto, who is only 1.1 meters tall, is indeed a small one. It's just that Naruto doesn't like this title at all. Okay, teacher. Naruto nodded, and trotted out of the room with a lavender turtle shell on his back. Weight training is also a part of Guishan style practice. After finishing swimming, sending, warmth, learning, plowing the land, and moving bricks, you need to carry this turtle shell on your back. The weight of the turtle shell increases with the degree of practice. By the way, the tortoise shell on Naruto weighs 100 kg. In fact, with Naruto's physique, this kind of weight can still be increased, but he is worried that he will not grow taller. He even wondered why Keelan was so short because he carried a turtle shell when he was a child. As for the Kakarot who practiced together as a Saiyan, it is not included in the calculation. By the way, how much did Xiaoli carry during the Chunin exam? Single quote. As long as it doesn't hinder the growth of height, Naruto estimates that he will surpass Xiaoli's weight in a short time. It's been so long before I know it, and I don't know if those Saiyans have arrived on Earth, and what happened to Piccolo and the others. I really want to go back to planet Kaiwang and practice with Lord Kaiwang. It's still enjoyable to practice at 10 times the gravity. Little one, you should try it when you have the opportunity in the future. It will be of great help to your strength improvement. Naruto rolled his eyes upon hearing that. Do you think I'm a Saiyan? That's 10 times gravity, a herd of cattle. Single quote. 10 times the gravity is not just that the body will simply become 10 times heavier, but the pressure on all the organs of the body will increase by 10 times. Normal human beings will be instantly crushed into a ball of meat when they come to an environment with 10 times the gravity. Not to mention 10 times the gravity, even if there is only double the gravity, it will be a heavy burden on human beings. Meow, third sound, a white kitten appeared in front of Naruto, and it was about to run away when it saw Naruto making a gesture. Meow, Naruto meowed at the other party. Meow, fourth sound. The little white cat who was about to escape turned around when he heard Naruto's meowing, and came to Naruto and sniffed around Naruto as if to confirm Naruto's identity. Woo meow meow woo meow meow. Meow, first sound meow, second sound meow, third sound meow, fourth sound. After one person and one cat meowed there for a long time, Naruto said, "Take me to the cat mother-in-law, please." The little white cat nodded at Naruto in a humane manner, and went into the woods with a whoosh, and Naruto immediately followed after seeing it. One person and one cat came to a slightly quaint house in a short while, and there were sculptures resembling lucky cats on both sides of the gate. After the little white cat brought Naruto here, it ran away in a flash. No matter how many times I come here, I can't remember how I got here. It's really amazing. Naruto pushed open the door with emotion, and only heard a creak, and the simple wooden door was pushed open. Even Naruto, who has the ability to sense malice, can't get here without using the cat. This is the foundation of our ninja cat clan. No one can find it here except cats. Sitting in the room was an old woman with a pipe in her mouth and wearing dark gray cat ear decorations. Her nose was thick and fat. The half-closed eyes give a very kind feeling. Much kinder than third generation. Single quote. Cat Granny, the legendary weapons dealer in Konoha. It is rumored that it is the exclusive weapons supplier of the Uchiha clan, and it is the Ninja Cat clan that can still exist after the Uchiha clan is wiped out. Grandma Cat, Naruto said respectfully to Granny Cat. This is respect from the bottom of my heart. The cat mother-in-law is the only person in Naruto who has no ill intentions towards herself other than Ichiraku Ramen's hand-beating uncle. For such a person, Naruto will pay the utmost respect. Naruto, you are here again. The cat mother-in-law took a sip of the pipe in her hand, and said with a smile, "What are you going to buy this time? Kunai or a shuriken, or some detonating charm?" The essence of a weapon store is similar to that of an arms dealer. Kunai, shurikens, detonating symbols, smoke bombs, and military food pills are the standing items in the ninja's pocket. The battles in the ninja world are generally dominated by cold weapons, although there are crooked technology trees such as radios. I want to change this thing to a heavier one. Naruto pointed to the tortoise shell on his back. Then this time I need 2 sets of wrist guards and a set of knee pads. A heavier one. In consideration of height, Naruto still dare not replace the tortoise shell with a double shell. It will be fine if it is a little heavier, and the one on his body should be replaced with wrist pads and knee pads. The cat mother-in-law shook her head with a wry smile. Naruto, I am a weapon shop here. You can buy the things you want on Konoha Street. Naruto spread his hands. Except for the cat mother-in-law, no one will sell me these things. Why do you think the original Naruto's green toad wallet is bulging? Laughing dead. As long as it is in Konoha, Naruto can't use the money at all. In the entire Konoha village, except for Uncle Ichiraku of Ichiraku Ramen, only the cat mother-in-law will sell him Naruto. The cat mother-in-law was silent for a few seconds, and then exhaled a puff of smoke ring. Okay, then I will change the focus for you this time. Lord 4th Generation. As the leader of the Ninja Cat clan, Granny Cat naturally knows the 4th generation couple, and the kunai of the 4th generation was formulated by Granny Cat. Of course I also know Naruto. As long as Konoha is a ninja, there are not many people who don't know what status he has. A trace of pity flashed in Naruto's cat mother-in-law's eyes, and then she extended her right hand. Chungwei 3000 taels, thank you. Distressed Naruto is distressed, the money still has to be given. This is the rule of the Ninja Cat clan. Here, cat mother-in-law. Naruto took out his toad wallet, took out 3 Fukuzawa and handed them over. Put the one on your back here, come and pick it up tomorrow. Good old lady cat. After all, it is a weapon shop, and everything other than weapons has to be made fresh. Just as Naruto was leaving, the door of the Ninja Cat clan was pushed open again. 2 figures, one big and one small, walked in. Behind the 2 of them is a striking pattern of red and white 2-color table tennis balls. The identities of the 2 are ready to be revealed. Konoha's largest family, the Uchiha family. Grandma Cat. Big Ping Pong said respectfully to Granny Cat. Cat mother-in-law greeted the big ping pong ball, and the little ping pong ball hurriedly followed. The cat mother-in-law narrowed her half-closed eyes, and said with a smile, so it's Itachi and little Sasuke, what do you want this time? Shuriken, shuriken, shuriken. Big brother promised to teach me shuriken. Before the big ping pong could speak, the small ping pong called Sasuke couldn't wait to shout. Itachi first rubbed Sasuke's hair, looked at his younger brother dotingly, and then said to Grandma Cat, 20 shurikens, 5 kunai, please trouble Granny Cat. Cheng Wei, 5,000 taels. Kunai and shuriken are used as regular ninja weapons, and the price is naturally not cheap, but the metal content in them is not as good as what Naruto needs. It can be seen from here that the things sold to Naruto are actually discounted a lot. That's all the cat mother-in-law can do. Don't touch my head all the time, I won't grow taller. Little Sasuke blushed and avoided Itachi's hand, pouting dissatisfiedly. Naruto just glanced at the 2 of them lightly, then turned and left, without any intention of going forward to say hello. There are 2 Uchihas, one big and one small. One of them is as harmless as the cat mother-in-law, but the other exudes a ray of malice the moment he sees him. Although the malice was very subtle, Naruto could sense it keenly. Growing up in an environment full of malice since childhood, he is too sensitive to malice. Uchiha Itachi. Just right, I don't like you either. Who is that guy? How rude, he didn't even say hello. Sasuke looked at Naruto's leaving back and muttered dissatisfiedly. I don't know why, although Sasuke said he hates him, he has an inexplicable affection for the other party. But the Tsunere Sasuke is impossible to admit it. Itachi quietly looked at the direction where Naruto was leaving, didn't speak, and didn't know what he was thinking. The cat mother-in-law said softly, Uzumaki Naruto. A poor child. After coming out of the cat mother-in-law, Naruto walked in the direction of Konoha Street. In all fairness, Konoha Street is the last place Naruto wants to go, and he feels deeply disgusted by the malice against him, but it is the only way to go to the place of practice. You can get the props for cultivation tomorrow, so I'll teach you something new. Kakarot's voice suddenly sounded from the bottom of Naruto's heart. What? Naruto asked curiously. Are you coming? Are you coming? The legendary turtle shockwave Kamepa Qigong. In the future, you don't need to rub the balls to make waves. The thing I want to teach you is called Chi, which I learned from the Earth God. Gas. There are gods in the world of Dragon Ball. Theoretically, there are gods on every planet. Kaioshin, god of destruction, is the head of the gods above. There are also some derivative subordinate gods such as the king of the realm, the servant of the gods, and the king of Hades, and the demon world that exists independently of the human world. Chi is something that most races in the universe can master, but the deepest use and understanding of Chi are the earth gods and martial arts masters on earth. And also played tricks. The shockwave of the turtle Kampoi Qigong that Naruto has always been thinking about as a technique of using Chi. Whether it is Qigong bombs or anything else, it depends on Chi. It can be said that Chi is the foundation of everything in the Dragon Ball world. Equivalent to the chakra of the Hokage world. As long as you can learn how to use Chi, the next step to master is dancing Kongshu. This is a very practical ability that can lift the board of Newton's coffin and free itself from gravity in the sky. After all, Hokage is a world that dominates on the surface, and there are not many people who can fly in the entire ninja world. Being able to fly is really a coveted ability. Although your basic training is still far behind, you can almost learn Chi. Kakarot crossed his hands and complained in front of the ceiling gate, obviously very dissatisfied with the results of Naruto's physical training. I thank you. Do you think I am your group of Saiyans? Single quote. In the later stage, practice in places where ordinary people will die if they go up to 100 times, 200 times, or 300 times the gravity. Single quote. I don't want any open faces. Single quote. Naruto muttered in his heart. With Naruto's current level of practice, he has caught up with Lilac during the Chunin exam, and his strength is even higher than this. How old is Naruto? Then let's start practicing quickly. The thought of being able to learn Chi made Naruto's heart very hot. Just the basic practice of Guaxian style made his strength grow rapidly. If he could learn Chi. I'm so excited that I can't help myself. Ignoring the eyes of disgust, hatred and malice around him, Naruto trotted and soon came to the end of Konoha Street. A burst of noise attracted Naruto's attention. Looking in the direction of the sound, the corners of Naruto's mouth slightly raised. Several tall children surrounded a little girl in white. Normally Naruto would never meddle in his own business, but this time he had to. A meeting of fate. I'm sorry, please let me go. I got lost with my family. The little girl said politely. With her white porcelain skin, pink face and delicate facial features, she looked like a girl who came out of a fairy tale. Doll. But it's a pity that the group of little ghosts surrounding her didn't think so, and one of the fat little ghosts pushed towards the girl. Maybe he didn't expect the other party to be so rude. The girl was accidentally pushed to the ground, mud splashed everywhere, and the white clothes on her body were also stained with the gray of the mud. The chubby kid pointed at the girl's eyes and laughed, haha. Look, her eyes are white. It's like a monster without eyes. The little ghosts around immediately booed and gradually approached the girl. A girl who had never been treated so roughly before, her silvery white pupils were immediately clouded with mist. Like a helpless kitten curled up, arousing pity. However, the girl's weakness did not stop the group of brats, but made them even more unscrupulous. Ha ha ha, do you think she looks like that? Maybe it's a monster like that. The monster's monster woman. Ha ha, I'm going to smudge her face. I hate this kind of doll the most. No one cares, no one cares, no one stops. The surrounding villagers saw it, but none of them planned to intervene. It has nothing to do with them. From the initial ridicule, the little ghosts gradually became unscrupulous, and all kinds of vicious words came one after another, and some even picked up stones on the ground and walked towards the girl. The little girl froze in place as if she had been frightened. Helpless and wronged. Children are pure in nature. Hee. The evil of children is the purest evil without any other factors and emotions. This is something Naruto has known since childhood. Compared with the indifferent adults, he hated these little ghosts even more. People often use the excuse that he is still young and doesn't know anything. Do you really know nothing? Do you really not understand at all? Especially in this Hokage world where the imps are more precocious. Stone's right hand was raised high, aiming at the girl's face. As some brat said, he's going to smudge a girl's face. The little girl closed her eyes in fright, and at this moment a figure descended from the sky. Go away. With a light kick, he knocked over the kid who was holding the stone. The stone in his hand flew up high, and then fell heavily, just hitting his own head. The stone was not seriously injured, but it also scratched a little bit of skin and spilled a little blood. The kid immediately sat on the ground and burst into tears. It's that, the other kids screamed, pointing at Naruto. Mom, I'm going to be eaten. Run, Kitano is going to be eaten. Seeing that it was Naruto, the little ghosts ran away in fright. Are you okay? Naruto pulled the little girl up. The little girl's blushing face is really cute. With your ability, it's not a problem to deal with them. Hyuga Hinata is the name of this little girl. Also the future wife of Uzumaki Naruto in the normal script. A gentle, strong girl. Father said that power is for protection, not for hurting people casually. Hinata lowered her head and blushed, speaking in a voice softer than a mosquito. If it weren't for Naruto's 5 senses are very keen, I wouldn't be able to hear clearly. Naruto placed his hand gently on Hinata's head, stroking and said, what a gentle child. But for some people, violence is necessary. Hinata's small face instantly turned red like a boiled crab. Then also, it's smoking. It's really cute. The untimely whispers interrupted the friendly exchange between the two, and the whispers gradually became louder, pointing at little Naruto. The malice all around suddenly soared, so thick that it almost condensed into a solid body. Is that one? Look, that hurts. I said that will definitely cause trouble in the village. What is he going to do? You won't eat Kitano, will you? You see it's bleeding. That's the proof that did harm. Quickly report to Lord Third Generation and drive that out of the village. When Hinata was being bullied, the indifferent villagers stopped at this moment, turned their eyes to Naruto, pointed at him, and the whispers turned into discussions which tended to intensify. No, it's not like this. Seeing that Naruto was misunderstood, Hinata desperately explained to the surrounding villagers, but no one was willing to believe it, and no one was willing to listen to what she said. In other words, most of the villagers understood what happened in their hearts. It doesn't matter what the truth is, what matters is what they think the truth is. No other reason. He is Uzumaki Naruto. Uzumaki Naruto is the incarnation of the demon fox in the eyes of the villagers. Just as they criticized White Fang in the first place, it is even more unscrupulous to criticize Naruto. Hey, this disgusting village. Miss. At this moment, a Hyuga ninja appeared in front of Hinata, and his arrival made the menacing villagers vent their anger. They're just civilians, ninjas, can't be messed with. Especially the ninja with a forehead protector on his head and a vest. However, the first thing the ninjas of the Hyuga clan appeared was to protect Hinata, turned to Naruto and said viciously, "Stay away from Our Lady, monster." His words were like explosives that ignited and detonated instantly. No, it's not like this. Hinata struggled and cried and explained, but no one paid attention to her words, even the Hyuga ninja just picked her up and left quickly. Naruto is left alone to face the angry villagers. Hyuga. Naruto looked deeply at the position where Hinata left. That Hyuga ninja was almost the most hostile of all present. This is not normal. Get out of our village. With a whoosh sound, a stone flew out and hit Naruto's forehead fiercely, and blood overflowed in an instant. Naruto must be able to dodge the stones thrown by ordinary villagers, but what if it was thrown by a ninja? The situation at this moment is simply not for Naruto to think about. Get out! The villagers roared angrily, and the resentment that had been suppressed for a long time by the third generation ban broke out at this moment. Throwing attacks of all kinds ensue, along with eggs, shards, and clods in addition to rocks. No one dared to attack Naruto. After all, it is the incarnation of the nine-tails fox, who can eat people. These things fell on Naruto without any accident. Eggs and mud stained Naruto's clothes and face, and stones kept making marks on the little Naruto's body. Naruto just stood there quietly, letting the villagers do what they did. Do not dodge or avoid. He neither defended nor got angry, but just stared at the villagers with very indifferent eyes, as if he wanted to remember their appearance in his heart. At the same time, his heart gradually became colder. Anbu, who was supposed to be guarding Naruto's side, didn't seem to exist at this moment, as if he would not make a move as long as his life was not endangered, or he seemed to be waiting for Naruto to make a move. But Naruto knew that Anbu was actually less than 20 meters away from him. That undisguised malice is like a bright light in the dark night. Fourth generation, you have failed so badly that so many want your children dead. Fourth generation, you really failed. After you died, your subordinates and disciples seemed to disappear. Fourth generation, what have you protected? He's not the real Hokage protagonist, nor is he a reincarnation of Ashura Chakra. Let him repay evil with virtue and become Hokage to guard these things. Repay grievances with virtue. How can you repay virtue? He is he, Uzumaki Naruto of this life. You all want me dead. Want me to leave. Yes, but not now. Finally, someone couldn't stand Naruto's indifferent ultimate gaze, grabbed a hoe and chopped at the little Naruto. Stop. Just as the hoe was about to touch Naruto and Naruto was about to fight back, an angry shout sounded. A shuriken nailed the hoe to the wall. A tall figure stood in front of Naruto. Red and white, the pattern of table tennis. It is the Uchiha clan. It was Uchiha who saved him. Intentionally hurting people and gathering people to make trouble. What are you going to do? The man stopped the audience as soon as he made a move, and no one dared to look at him when he looked around. It's Konoha Police Department. A villager recognized the other party's identity. The duty of the Konoha Police Department is to maintain internal security and stability, formulate village regulations, strengthen and maintain Konohagakure's order and security, and arrest criminals and ninjas. Served by members of the Uchiha clan. Has great power. It's just that the power comes back to the big, and it is also a very offensive job, especially in a family like Uchiha whose eyes are above the top. Who has the worst reputation in Konoha except Naruto? That must be the Uchiha Konoha Security Department. It's just that ordinary people really dare not provoke Uchiha. At least for now. Leave, the man shouted angrily. The villagers were a little unwilling, but under the pressure of the man, they finally had to leave angrily and scattered like birds and beasts. It's okay, it's okay. It's okay. A woman who was with the man walked up to the little Naruto, looked at him with pity and said in a warm voice, then bent down and touched the little Naruto's head. He took out a handkerchief from his pocket and carefully wiped off the stains on his face. Thank you, sister, you have a smell that I am familiar with. Naruto smiled sweetly at the other party. That gentle woman is the same as the cat mother-in-law, she doesn't have the slightest malice towards herself, not only that, she also has the same smell as Kushina. It smells good and is very comfortable. The woman looked at Naruto with gentle eyes. You have to call me aunt, I am the same age as your mother, I am her. Okay, Makoto. Before the woman could finish speaking, she was interrupted by the man with a serious face. Time to go. Take care. The woman named Makoto was a little bit reluctant when she heard this, but she still stood up and followed the man. Goodbye, Makoto aunt. Thank you, Uncle Sirius. Naruto bid farewell to the two of them, then turned and ran towards the training place he was going to. When Naruto disappeared completely, Uchiha Makoto covered his mouth and said tremblingly, Fugaku, Kushina's child is really pitiful. That's all we can do. Uchiha's life is not easy now. Uchiha Fugaku comforted his wife, then turned around and looked at a big tree not far away, his eyes flashed red. Humph. Accompanied by Fugaku's cold snort, the tree shook slightly. Konoha Hokage building. Sarutobi, you must give me the Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Shimura Danzo was arguing with third Hokage in the hall. The object of their dispute is the affiliation of Nine Tails Jinchuriki Uzumaki Naruto. Danzo, it is impossible for Jinchuriki to be at your root. Sarutobi, don't you believe in my abilities? Don't believe that I can tune the Nine Tails Jinchuriki into a perfect tool. Danzo gazed at third generation with his one remaining eye like a lion majesty. No, I just trust you too much. Third generation stared back at the past without showing any weakness. After decades of getting along, he knew his old friend too well. He longs to be a Hokage, and as long as he can be a Hokage, he can do anything. This isn't the first time I've asked myself for Nine Tails Jinchuriki. He also believes that with Danzo's ability, Jinchuriki can definitely be developed into a qualified tool. Just like the group of root ninjas under him. But once Danzo has mastered Nine Tails Jinchuriki, it is basically the same as mastering Konoha. In particular, Nine Tails is the most powerful existence among the nine-tailed beasts. Although third generation will compromise with this old friend on many things, it is the only one that can't do it. People from the Yamanaka family and the Aburame family can be entrusted to you for training. But only Nine Tails Jinchuriki can't, don't even think about it. He will inherit my will of fire in the future. The will of fire. HMPH. Danzo showed disdain, and just as he was about to say something, two masked ninjas in black appeared at the same time. One after the other, they came to third generation and Danzo. One is Anbu directly under Hokage, and the other is a root ninja of Danzo. Apart from a slight difference in clothing, the two look almost the same. Danzo's face changed drastically after hearing the report from the root ninja, and before he could take any action, he only heard third generation sternly shouted. Danzo. Third generation stared at Danzo with half-closed eyes, obviously showing extreme anger. You dare to reach out to Anbu. Take advantage of the villagers again. I have forgiven you once. How did you agree then? How dare you? How dare you? Third generation took a deep breath and said firmly. From now on, Elder Danzo needs to rest at home for a period of time due to physical discomfort. The roots of the Konoha are temporarily banned. Sarutobi, you can't do this. Everything I do is for Konoha. Danzo's complexion changed drastically, and he stood up abruptly from his seat, trembling with excitement. Jinchuriki can only play its greatest role in my hands. Ninjas are tools that don't need emotion. I said that the root ban will start today. Elder Danzo needs to rest at home. Does my words not work? Don't forget, I'm Hokage. Sarutobi, you will regret it. Danzo roared and left angrily again. The two broke up again over the issue of the ownership of Nine Tails Jinchuriki. Sarutobi, Uchiha, Nine Tails Jinchuriki must be in my hands. On the outskirts of the Konoha Death Forest, this is where little Naruto usually practiced. Chi is the most fundamental energy in our body and the potential life energy of everything. Whether it's human beings, flowers, birds, fish and insects, or anything else, as long as he exists, he will have energy. Although Chi cannot be seen, it does exist. This is Chi. Calm down and concentrate on feeling the flowing power in your body. Let that power out. Kakarot's explanation is very vague and general, and his teaching level is not the same as that of his son Gohan. Just listening to his explanation, Naruto probably won't be able to practice and vent his anger in this life, but the good thing is that he is in Naruto's body. In the sealed space, he can clearly perceive the position of Chi in Naruto's body, and can perfectly guide Naruto to perceive his own Chi. Naruto sat cross-legged on the grass with his eyes closed. Enter meditation as Kakarot taught him. Empty your mind, get rid of distracting thoughts, and experience tranquility. Follow Kakarot's instructions wholeheartedly, experience and comprehend with heart. Time passed minute by minute. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. Naruto's breath gradually stabilized, and he sat motionless on the spot like an old monk in meditation. It's there but it's not there. It seems to be one with nature. What's going on? Why did Nine Tails Jinchuriki sit there motionless for so long? Captain, do you need to report to Lord Third Generation? Looking at Naruto who was sitting cross-legged and motionless, Anbu wearing a Fukuro mask asked. Anbu wearing a fox mask shook his head and said, as long as there is no abnormality, there is no need to report to Lord Third Generation. And his name is Uzumaki Naruto. Yes, Captain. Anbu in the fox mask looked at Naruto who was in trance and thought to himself. The teacher's child. Sure enough, there is something unusual about it. Single quote. Because of what happened on Konoha Street before, Anbu who is now with Naruto has changed. These two people now have nothing to do with Anbu before. Is a member of another squad. A few birds chirped and landed on Naruto's shoulders. Naruto didn't notice the birds, and the birds didn't realize that they landed on the human body. There was even an unknown bird picking up a small wooden branch, apparently planning to build a nest on Naruto's hair. In the end, Xiaonao had to give up this plan because he was too short to defend against natural enemies. The sun rose high and then slowly set. When a crescent hung in the sky, Naruto slowly opened his eyes. His ethereal eyes looked into the distance, clean and free from dust. A gleam of brilliance flashed across his eyes, and the ethereal eyes became deep, and it took a while before they became clear. He looked at his hands in disbelief. I feel angry. Is this anger? This feeling. I feel stronger. I don't know if it's because of his super perceptual power, but the moment he sensed the chi according to Kakarot's guidance, he was able to grasp the flow of chi with a little jerk, and now he can already manipulate it like an arm and a finger. I'm out of breath. It's amazing. It only took such a short time to use chi to such an extent. At the beginning, I suffered a lot in order to perceive chi. It seems that you have a strong talent for chi. It would be great if you also have this talent in physical practice. I look forward to fighting with you. As Kakarot said, it took him nearly 3 years to use chi proficiently when he arrived at the Temple of Heaven. Even the amazing Vegeta took a long time to master the use of chi. Compared with the two, Naruto can be described as a genius in only 1 week. People have to have some special skills. Naruto laughed, but secretly complained in his heart. Ghosts compete with you Saiyans. Gululu. Just as Naruto stood up and was about to move around, there was a thunderous sound in his stomach, and at the same time, there was a huge sense of exhaustion. How long have I been practicing? So hungry. 1, 2, 3, 6, 4, about 7 days. Kakarot said, counting with his fingers for a long time. It's really hard for you to get it right even if the order is wrong. I feel like I could eat a cow right now. You only ate 1 cow. Your appetite is really poor, little one. Spring goes and autumn comes, and the time of the year passes quickly. Soon came October 10th 53 road year of Konoha, which was Naruto's 6th birthday. On this rare day, Naruto did not practice, but cooked a table of dishes. Birthday. What's that? Kakarot said he didn't understand. It's the day of birth. Naruto patiently explained the meaning of birthday to Kakarot. I've never had a birthday, ha ha ha. Kakarot himself didn't care about the sad words he said. Like Naruto, his parents died not long after he was born because Frieza destroyed planet Vegeta, and then he came to Earth because he broke his head and even forgot what his parents looked like. Fortunately, a grandfather took care of him since he was a child, although in the end Kakarot was trampled to death because he saw the moon turned into a gorilla. This sounds about as miserable as Naruto. Happy birthday, teacher. Happy birthday, little one. Ha ha ha. Then Naruto said to Anbu, who was standing outside the window holding the grape juice he brewed. Happy birthday, Anbu's big brother. The shadows of the branches outside the window swayed slightly, as if responding to Naruto's words. After getting along for a year, the Anbu captain has long been accustomed to the fact that he can be detected by Naruto. After all, he is the child of his gifted teacher, and he is Nine-Tails JinchuRiki, so there is always something different from ordinary people. This Anbu captain comforted himself in this way. Naruto still has a good impression of Anbu, who is always watching him. Because under Naruto's perception, he didn't have any malice towards himself. Naruto also has a vague guess about the identity of this Anbu. It's really strange. People who don't have any ill intentions towards me either don't meet a single one, or even meet several at a time. Uncle Ichiraku, Granny Cat, Hyuga Hinata, Uchiha Makoto and his wife, and Anbu outside the window. There are 6 people in total. In another week, Naruto will go to the ninja school to study. Konoha Shinobi School stipulates that as long as a child who is 6 years old and has ninja talent must go to the ninja school to learn. Regarding the matter of Naruto going to the ninja school, Konoha's senior management had another debate, and the debate continued. Danzo still insists that Naruto should be handed over to him, trained from the root, and turned Naruto into a tool man of Konoha. Mitokado Homura and Uchiha Kaharu, the 2 advisors of Konoha, said that Danzo is right. The 3rd generation believes that Naruto should go to the ninja school to study. This is to increase JinchuRiki's bond with Konoha. The previous generation JinchuRiki Uzumaki Kushina is also the love of his life he met in the ninja school. Konoha's 2 advisors also said that 3rd generation is right. As expected of Konoha's 2 big shit-stirring sticks, if you say it, you don't say it. The previous generation of Nine-Tails JinchuRiki was more talented than the current one. We can no longer let him waste time in ninja school playing house ninja games. Without the teaching of the roots, you will waste all of the JinchuRiki's talents, Sarutobi. Danzo argued desperately, while third generation completely denied it. Finally, the third generation said, I am Hokage, to end the meeting. Danzo's obsession with Hokage has increased by 1 point. Naruto gained the power to study at the ninja school. On the day of the ninja school's report, there was a din of gongs and drums, firecrackers blared, red flags waving, and crowds of people. Well, not really. But there are a lot of people coming and going, bustling. There are more people than ordinary elementary schools. After all, Konoha only has one ninja school. There are also many children of the same age as Naruto. There is at least one person in each family of Konoha alone, and some families with a relatively large population base even have several. Almost all children who sign up are accompanied by a parent. Except Naruto. Hello, big brother. I'm here to register. Naruto handed the registration form given to him by the third generation to the ninja in charge of the registration. It was a plain-looking ninja wearing a well-regulated Chunin costume and a pineapple head. The only thing that attracted attention was a horizontal line on his nose, scar. Konoha teacher Yumino Iruka. 9. Iruka looked at Naruto and almost blurted out. Then his body exuded a touch of black, that feeling Naruto could not be more familiar with. It was malicious. Iruka also had malice towards Naruto before he completely untied his knot. After all, his parents died during the Nine Tails Rebellion. Big brother, can I sign up? Okay. Iruka looked at Naruto with a very complicated look, and the malice on his body increased. Go inside and report. Thank you. After Naruto said politely, he ran towards the ninja school without looking back. Naruto has no intention of untying Iruka's knot. That has nothing to do with me. He treats himself well if he wants to be good to himself, and it doesn't matter if he doesn't want to. If it wasn't for third Hokage's request, he wouldn't want to come to the ninja school at all. If you have this time, it is better to practice for a while. The martial art of Guixianlu is more addictive the more you practice. Along the way, many civilian ninjas who brought their children to sign up pointed at Naruto and whispered to their children. Naruto could feel that their malice was no less than that of the Konoha village citizens. The malice in the ninjas of the small family will be less, and it will not be completely absent. As for the big families, some have only a trace, and some are no less than those Konoha village people. Because Naruto is now proficient in using chi, and can sense the strength of the opponent through chi. It's one of his favorite things to do. Although he knows that the strength of strength cannot be judged solely by the strength of chi when there is not much difference in chi, but he still likes to do this. How interesting. So Naruto rated the ninjas he saw while walking. This 30 points, a starfish head with a wide forehead and a little girl. This 85 points, a big chubby with a big belly and a little chubby. This 66 points, a big pineapple head with a small pineapple head. This 75 points, middle-aged handsome guy with a little beauty. This 70 points, with a wolf dog taller than himself, with a wild ant. This 40 points, an ordinary ninja. This is 28 points. This 1, 2, 377, the breath is high and low, strong and weak, big sunglasses with small sunglasses. As for the students who were in the same period as him, Naruto said that a group of scumbags with only 5 combat effectiveness. Most of the parents' auras of civilian children without any inheritance are below 50, and the scores of those with inheritance are all above 50, of course there are exceptions. This, 99 points. Naruto recognized the other party's identity at a glance. It was a meeting before, and he brought his younger brother to sign up, Uchiha Itachi. So strong. Naruto raised his eyebrows, and moved a few steps to the side without leaving a trace. It's not that I'm afraid of him, but that the other party's mind is abnormal, so stay away from him. An abnormal brain is not scary, and strength is not scary either. What I'm afraid of is that my brain is not normal but it's really strong. It's not good if you get infected. Chapter 11. When Naruto walked into the classroom, there were already many people in the classroom, including the wide forehead, the little fat man, the pineapple head, and the little beauties that I saw before. The moment he saw Naruto walk in, the maliciousness in the classroom became stronger immediately. Fortunately, not everyone is hostile to Naruto. Ignoring everyone, Naruto walked straight towards the owner of those clean, pure eyes without any impurities. There were whispers all around. Why are you in the same class as that? It's unfortunate. I heard that that guy from Kitano was almost skinned alive last year. He's still scared to death. That boy Baye deserves it. He dared to do something to that. Don't you know the horror of that? The roof of my house was overturned by that. What are you? Do you know the hills in my yard? It was that threw it in. Our family took a lot of effort to move it away. Look, that is sitting next to the young lady of Hyuga's house. Will there be any danger? Do you want to eat the young lady of the Hyuga family? Why don't you go up and be a hero and teach that a lesson along the way? None of my business. Not everyone participated in the verbal criticism of Naruto. For example, it's really troublesome. Hearing the whispers around him, Little Pineapple frowned, as if he didn't agree with the other students' remarks, but he didn't refute, just cast a glance at Naruto, muttered something, and lay down on the table. Neither participated in the discussion nor did any unnecessary actions. Creak creak. The little chubby next to the pineapple head only had the snacks in his hands, and didn't care about anything else. Sakura-chan, I heard Sasuke-kun is coming to our class too. Really? That would be great. The little girl with a wide forehead and blonde hair was discussing something intensely, and the center of their topic completely revolved around Sasuke that Naruto met at the door before, and there was a burst of silver bell-like laughter from time to time. Naruto, what is that? Is Sasuke handsome? I'm sorry, Naruto-kun. Hinata lowered her head, not daring to look at Naruto. Her silver eyes were also covered by a layer of mist. With a flushed little face, he stammered and explained incoherently. The little heart was beating crazily and kept playing with the corner of his clothes nervously. I want to apologize to Naruto-kun. After returning home that day, Yongyi's big brother was also punished by the clan. Father, my lord grounded me at home and didn't let me out until today. I tried to escape from the clan several times, but I was found. Sorry. He kept apologizing, for fear that Naruto would question her and hate her because of it. Doda's tears kept pouring out, sliding down her cheeks that could be broken by blows, and falling to the ground one by one like broken pearls. Will you be hated by Naruto-kun? I'll be hated by Naruto-kun. Just when Hinata was feeling desperate, he felt a slight sinking of the top of his head, a warm little hand covered his head, and a gentle voice rang in his ears. It does not matter. Naruto stroked Hinata's soft hair slowly, soothing Hinata's emotions. Then he half-kneeled and bent down, lightly holding the slender hand that was tightly clutching the corner of his clothes, raised his forehead slightly to meet Hinata's gaze, looked at Hinata's tear-stained face, showing a smile that had never been seen before. The gentle eyes that appeared before. I know, what happened that day has nothing to do with you. I never blamed you, Hinata. I want to find you too, but the gate of Hyuga's house is not so easy to enter. It's hard for you, Hinata, trying to sneak out under the eyes of a bunch of clairvoyant eyes. Naruto's words seemed to have magical powers, instantly soothing Hinata's emotions. Can we be friends? After waiting for a few seconds, there was no reply from Hinata, and then said, I don't want to. I do. Before Naruto finished speaking, Hinata couldn't wait to blurt out, and then flushed with embarrassment. Naruto laughed, from the bottom of his heart, never in this life as much as today. That warm smile like a spring in March made Hinata crazy for a while, and the smile was deeply imprinted in Hinata's heart. Please teach me more in the future, Hinata-chan. This world, my first friend. Single quote. Naruto-kun, too. Please take care of me too. Looking at the face close at hand, Hinata's small face instantly became like a ripe tomato. Naruto-kun, you are so close to me. Single quote. It's smoking again. Really cute. In fact, the real situation of the matter is not as smooth as the above. The cry of Hinata just now was actually the movement that disturbed other students. He has not experienced severe beatings in the society. Naturally, there is no shortage of hot-blooded teenagers. When they moved, they were frightened by Naruto, who had sensed the movement in advance. Even if there is no nine tails in the body now, the power developed by long-term practice of Guaxian fluid art is not something these little ghosts who have just entered the ninja school can compete with. You can refer to Kakarot's master Kame Senjin, who took off his sunglasses. The sharp eyes are far from the usual LSP image. Introversion and fighting are like two different people, and the breath can be retracted and released freely, which is the characteristic of Guaxian style. It is in stark contrast to the sharp-edged crane stream. Tisk trouble, Pineapple Head muttered, turned over and continued to hold the corpse, but his eyes always glanced at Naruto's position, whether it was conscious or unconscious. One after another, some students entered the classroom. The cool boy Uchiha Sasuke with a wide forehead and a little beauty, the Inuzuka tooth with a strange pattern on his face and a faint smell on his body, and the very unstable Aburame Shino with sunglasses. Not long after, Iruka, who was in charge of registration at the school gate, also came to the classroom. From now on, I will be your teacher. My name is Yumino Iruka. Now let's make a simple self-introduction. Name, favorite things, and ideals are enough. My name is Inuzuka Iba, I like ninja dogs, and my ideal is to become 5th Hokage. My name is Nara Shikamaru and I like to take a nap, ideally with less hassle. Uchiha Sasuke, I like to practice, and my ideal is to become a powerful ninja. Little Sasuke said coolly, and added in his heart, a powerful ninja like Big Brother. Quote, my name is Haruno Sakura. I like it. My ideal is to become a great ninja like Master Tsunade. My name is Hyuga Hinata. Like the ideal is, be a strong person. Whirlpool Naruto, I like pure eyes, the ideal is probably. Naruto said, paused here, and then said, become a great person like Lord 4th generation. Learning in ninja school is very boring, especially when most of the learning in school is theoretical knowledge. How to say these theoretical knowledge, it is useless, sometimes it is really a bit. Let's say it is useful, but in many cases there is no way to use it in actual combat. Let's talk about the principle of kunai and the basics of using this book. Using a parabola to assassinate kunai unless the result is calculated in seconds. Otherwise, when you finish the calculation slowly, the other party has already changed places, and you have to do the calculation again. Tell me what's the use of it? Most of the students with good theoretical grades in the ninja school were killed as soon as they entered the battlefield. On the contrary, ninjas with family inheritance can survive on the battlefield. It is indeed the Hokage world of pure blood in the later period. It's not that theoretical knowledge is completely useless, at least the ninja school teacher's tips for survival in the wild are quite practical, although this is not very useful for Naruto, who has independent living experience in the wild. There are also the use, types, advantages and disadvantages of some ninja tools and the correct formation of handprints. Who still uses ninjas in battle in the later stage? BIUs are almost catching up with the battles in the world of Dragon Ball. As for seals, in the later stage, except for the honest and diligent Kisame, no one will do whatever they want with clapping their hands. In addition to the above, the only thing that can be learned in the ninja school is the 3-body technique on the bad street. Namely transformation technique, body replacement technique, clone technique. For 3-body technique, Naruto's evaluation is clone technique. It is short-lived in the early stage, and no one uses it in the later stage. Normal people use soil clone and shadow clone. Body replacement technique. Pretend skill in the early stage, touted as the pre-ninjutsu of space-time ninjutsu. The official setting in the later stage is the blindfold method, which has nothing to do with space-time ninjutsu. Transformation technique. It is somewhat useful, and basically a perceptual ninja can see through it in the later stage. Unless you can advance to White Zetsu's transformation technique level, it's useless. The only record is that the reverse harem technique developed by Naruto on the basis of transformation made Kagaya, the ancestor of chakra, be recruited. To sum it up, it is very friendly to civilian ninjas, who basically do not have ninja experience, and can quickly grow closer to family ninjas through learning. It is of little use to family ninjas, but it is useful to Naruto except transformation technique, and the others are completely useless, pure just a waste of time. My time is very valuable and I don't want to waste it on a ninja game like this. After only 3 days of training, Naruto came to the above conclusion. As for the ninja school, it is not only for learning, but also for expanding the social circle to see how the civilian ninjas treat themselves. Regardless of any talent, just being a JinchuRiki, Naruto is destined to be completely different from their level. There is no need for communication. It would be great if I knew how to shadow clone. The teacher on the stage happily talked about the essentials of the will to fire, and Naruto dozed off below and almost fell asleep. The world of Dragon Ball is not without clone moves. Tianjin Fan's four-body fist is that, which can divide one's own power into four parts, each of which is an entity. The problem is that Kakarot doesn't know Tianjin Fan's move. Shadow Clone is a ninjutsu that must be learned. Whether it is used for training, fighting or skipping classes, it is a first-class and practical ninjutsu. The crux of the matter is that no one will teach him the Shadow Clone technique. In the original time and space, Naruto learned by stealing the sealed book during the graduation exam. The current Naruto does not say that there are still several years before graduation. Even if he really graduates, Naruto does not intend to steal the sealed book. The thing about learning Shadow Clone can only be put aside for the time being. Fortunately, it is not all bad news. There is also a piece of good news recently. Since Naruto said that he wants to become a great ninja like 4th Hokage, Anbu who watched him has never appeared since then. I don't know whether it was because 3rd generation felt that Naruto no longer needed to be monitored, or because of other reasons, but Anbu was withdrawn. This is a good thing, as long as he avoids 3rd generation's crystal ball technique that peeps at him from time to time, he can basically practice freely. The practice of Wukongshu and Kamepai Qigong can also be put on the agenda. Ding dong, ding dong. The familiar yet unfamiliar sound of water droplets sounded. Naruto opened his eyes in his sleep, and what he saw was the familiar sealed space. Practicing Guaxian fluid technique every day, there is no moment to relax. Every time I squeeze out the last bit of energy, and I basically fall asleep when I get home, and Kakarot can talk in Naruto's heart, so Naruto basically does not have to worry about it during this time. To seal the space. It has been a long time since the last time I went to the sealed space. It's just that this time it seems to be different from usual. There seems to be something different inside the space. Looking at the stagnant water on the ground, Naruto was lost in thought. The image of the sealed space will change according to one's own heart. Naruto, who has practiced Guaxian style for a long time, has long been able to change the sealed space to other skins. The stagnant water on the ground has long been removed and replaced by emerald green lawns. But now, it seemed as if he had returned to the situation when he first came here 2 years ago. It seems that something changed in the sealed space that I don't know. Speaking of which, it seemed like it had been a while since Kakarot had spoken. Teacher, teacher, little Naruto's body slowly floated up and flew towards the sealed gate at a very fast speed. Kongshu. It was still the huge iron door with the charm stuck in the center. There was no change in the iron gate, the only difference was that the figure in the orange robe disappeared, replaced by a huge shadow like a hill. This is, little devil, come closer to me. The huge figure like a hill seemed to have discovered Naruto, moving its body and slowly approaching the gate. Under the dim light, this huge figure gradually revealed its real body. A fiery red fox with 9 tails was lying on the railing and waiting for him fiercely through the gap. That fox head is very familiar to Naruto, it is the one he saw for the first time after time travel. Who is this 9 tails who disappeared before? My plugin is back. What about my other plugin? Are you scared by me like this? Seeing Naruto staring blankly at him, thinking that he was scared by him, 9 tails grinned and revealed a row of sharp white teeth, looking down at Naruto with disdainful eyes. Cowardly human cub. Surprised, Naruto quickly calmed down. Flying into the air, he made eye contact with 9 tails and snapped his fingers. Let there be light. After uttering 2 words lightly, the entire sealed space immediately brightened. Interesting human cub. Seeing this scene, 9 tails was slightly startled, opened his mouth and changed his evaluation of Naruto. My own JinchuRiki seems unusual. Hi, Mr. Fox, nice to meet you for the first time. Naruto said to 9 tails very politely. 9 tails pouted. Don't tell me these silly things, what do you want to do, just say it. Where have you been these 2 years? Naruto was also unambiguous, and went straight to the point, asking what was in his heart. He wanted to find out where 9 tails had been before and where Kakarot was now. He faintly felt that this question was very important. However, what 9 tails said next, instead of answering Naruto, made Naruto even more confused. Little devil, what are you talking about? My uncle has always been here. Naruto sat up from the bed, pinching his chin and lost in thought. After he came out of the sealed space, he could already feel the chi of Nine Tails, but he was 100% sure that he didn't have the chi of Nine Tails before. Instead, Kakarot's chi disappeared without a trace. Just as abruptly as he came, he disappeared very abruptly. If he's always been here as Nine Tails said, what was Kakarot before? Then what is my practice for the past 2 years? Single quote. Is it a dream? Dreamed for 2 years. Single quote. Naruto made a hypothesis that he himself didn't believe. Soon he overturned this assumption. No, it's impossible. Single quote. A ball of light bloomed in Naruto's hand. It was not rubbing balls, but simply concentrated chi in the palm of the hand, and throwing it out was an ordinary qigong bomb. Guixian fluid art is real, chi is also real, and Wukong art is even more real. Who can turn dreams into reality? Those 2 years were definitely not a dream, they were real. Just where the hell has Kakarot gone? There is too little information. Naruto can't do further analysis, so he can only stop here. Naruto had a vague premonition that he would see Kakarot again. His strength has been greatly improved, and he has learned many powerful moves such as Guixian fluid technique, Qigong wave, Wukong technique, etc. The Nine Tails cheat is back too. It stands to reason that everyone should be happy, but Naruto always feels empty in his heart. After all, I have been with me for 2 years. It can also be said that I have watched myself grow up since I was a child. Even if I want to leave, I don't even say goodbye. Hey, strictly speaking, Master Kakarot is the first person who has no ill feelings towards him, even though he is a dead person. I don't know how he is now. After leaving Kakarot for 2 years, Dragon Ball's fighters can't be the opponent of Saiyans at all. The Earth has probably been destroyed by Vegeta. As the days passed, Naruto ran into the sealed space whenever he was free. It's just that this time the object of discussion has been changed to Nine Tails. Kurama, do you know how to practice Shadow Clone? Naruto said while shaking Nine Tails. Nine Tails raised his right eyelid and glanced at him, and said angrily, I'm not a human being, how could I know how to cultivate ninjas? Kurama, then do you know how to practice chakra attributes? I already said that I am a tailed beast, how could I know that kind of thing? Then how do you usually fight? Just like this. A black sphere gathered in Nine Tails' mouth, the tailed beast cannon. Naruto looked contemptuous. Hey, chakra's utilization rate is so low. The tailed beast cannon, as the name suggests, is a move used by the tailed beasts. It is powerful. A single tailed beast cannon is powerful enough to destroy a small ninja village in an instant. It sounds very high, but the principle is not too simple. It is to highly compress chakra, compress, and then release it in one breath. The power is great, but the chakra wasted in this process is also huge. That is to say, the tailed beast can use this move because it has a lot of chakra in its body. A normal ninja would be reluctant to use so many chakras. Isn't the 5 elements escape technique delicious? It's about the honest man who claims to be a tailless beast and builds a dam. Just like Qigongtan and Kamehei Qigong, with the same amount of Qi, the power of Qigongdan is actually lower than that of Kamehei Qigong. Raditz's combat power of 1300 Qigong bullets can only do 1300 damage, and Kakarot's combat power of more than 400 Kamehei Qi functions can do more than 900 damage. This is the gap between the two. Nine Tails said angrily, I have too much chakra. Among us tailed beasts, only a weak guy like Shuzuru can learn your ninjutsu and sealing techniques from humans. It's really a shame for tailed beasts. So he is the weakest of our 9 tailed beasts. Naruto doesn't know if Shukaku is the weakest of the 9 tailed beasts, but if you ask Nine Tails who is the weakest tailed beast, he will definitely tell you Shukaku. These 2 guys were born to be at odds, and had fought more than once before. Then you will. Naruto wanted to ask something, but was interrupted roughly by Nine Tails. It's so noisy, it's so noisy, it's so noisy, I said I don't know those things. I only know the tail beast cannon. TCH, I don't know anything after living for so many years. Naruto muttered softly. A huge, well, appeared on the head of Nine Tails, jumped up and pointed at Naruto with one paw on his hip, and cursed, Hey! Brat, don't think that you can tell me what to do if you beat me by arm wrestling. That's why I let you win. It was you who said that you could beat me with one hand. Naruto replied not to be outdone. At the beginning, He said that he could beat me with just one finger, but he was still playing tricks after losing 3 times. Ninetales didn't like Naruto at all at first, and planned to kill Naruto during the arm wrestling. The results were impressed by Naruto. Because he lost the game, he was forced to tell Naruto his name. The Kurama that Naruto called at the beginning was the name of Ninetales. That was my carelessness. I was careless. Ninetales exploded in an instant, and kept arguing with reason. In short, he absolutely could not admit that he lost to Naruto by arm wrestling. Otherwise, with a brat like you, no matter how many times you come it can be easily won. How about another game? Naruto suggested. I don't want you to let me this time. As he spoke, he rolled up his sleeves. No, Ninetales refused decisively without even thinking about it. As long as I don't compare, you can't beat me. TCH, it's really boring. Ming Dun felt bored, walked to the corner to shine a few feet on the wall, and the whole space shook after a while. The wall dust fell down like money, and Ninetales' eyelids twitched when he saw it. I'm afraid Naruto might kick the sealed space down with too much force. He doesn't want to be the first tailed beast to be buried alive. Looking at Naruto's monster-like physique, even Ninetales couldn't help complaining. I very much doubt that you are not human at all. Your physique is almost catching up with our tailed beasts. The tailed beast is not as physically fit as you. Where am I? My physical fitness is nothing to my teacher. After all, according to Kakarot's evaluation, Naruto's physical cultivation speed can only be regarded as average, and his physical talent is even better. Impossible, absolutely impossible. How could there be such a person in the world? I haven't seen it in 1,000 years. Even the old man of 6 paths doesn't have such a terrifying body. TCH, you haven't seen many. You haven't seen ninjutsu after living for 1,000 years. Ninetales frowned again, pointing at Naruto and jumping up. Little brat, I'm going to teach you a lesson today. Naruto rolled up his sleeves again. Come on, let's fight. Not coming. Konoha 55 years. Winter, cloudy weather. This year Naruto was 8 years old, and this was also the time when Kakarot left for a year and Ninetales returned for a year. Naruto's mood is just like today's weather, which is not very beautiful. Even with Hinata by his side, he was still a little absent-minded and listless. After sending Hinata to the gate of Hyuga's house, Naruto ran towards the training ground. The reason for this is that Naruto's current cultivation has fallen into a bottleneck stage, and his strength has grown very slowly recently. There is no growth at a speed visible to the naked eye in the past. Sometimes it only grows a little after a few days. On the one hand, the body is still developing, the body is in the stage of rapid growth, and all nutrients are supplied to the body development. The rise of chi is also slowed down by physical limitations. At least it will take a few more years for Naruto's body to stabilize, and then there will be a significant improvement in his practice strength, otherwise it will be meaningless to strengthen his practice in a short period of time. The emergence of a bottleneck made Naruto a little anxious. Even if Ninetales can be thrown out with an over-the-shoulder throw now, even if Ninetales is afraid to compete with Naruto with pure body now and starts to use chakra shamelessly, Naruto still thinks that his strength is insufficient. Brother Shuin has a good saying, all fear stems from insufficient firepower. Single quote. Now Naruto just feels that he has insufficient firepower. It's nothing unusual to be stronger than Ninetales. There are many people stronger than Ninetales in this world. If Ninetales can be sealed, it means that he is not strong enough. And the Ninetales in his body is not complete, only half. Even so, it was sealed. I have to take Ninetales as an example and take it as a warning. Gotta get stronger, get stronger, get stronger. Since chi and body cannot be improved for the time being, they can only find ways to improve their strength from other places. Back and forth and back to the original question. Chakra, the basic power of the Hokage world, the foundation of becoming a ninja. It's time to start the practice of Chatankara. Single quote. Since no one in Konoha is willing to teach me, then I can only find someone who is not human to teach me. Naruto made up his mind, and his figure appeared in the sealed space. Under Kurama's painful eyes, Naruto walked towards the big iron gate of the sealed space. Little ghost, what do you want to do again? Let me tell you that I feel a little sick to my stomach today. Seeing Naruto approaching Ninetales step by step, he quickly shouted. He vowed not to give up when he got all kinds of meat and vegetables. Forget it, the key point is that Naruto is not only full of energy, but also very annoying, just like Ben with 100,000 whys, asking questions all day long, and with his pure chakra physique, he is a little nervous. He was really scared. Counting the time, 8 years old, Naruto is the age at which people hate dogs. Foxes are also canines. Ninetales found that Naruto didn't seem to be targeting him, and before he could breathe a sigh of relief, he realized something was wrong. Following Naruto's line of sight, what he saw was the seal on the big iron gate, and Ninetales, who had a premonition of something bad, exclaimed loudly, "Could it be that you want to? Stop, I'm telling you, brat, even if you break the seal, I won't go out." Ninetales clung to the iron door of the seal with one paw, and blocked Naruto with the other paw, trying to push Naruto away. However, his strength was nothing in front of Naruto, and Naruto continued to move forward against Ninetales' strength. "Don't try to seduce me. I won't go out if I can't say it. I won't leave here, I won't leave. Go back and be good, I will give you my strength, I will really lend you my strength, and I will never lie to you this time. Stop, don't even try to PK with me." Amid Ninetales' hoarse screams, Naruto's hand rested on the seal's seal. Ninetales closed his eyes in despair. Just when Naruto tore off a corner of the seal, a big warm hand pressed onto Naruto's small hand. A figure descended from the sky and appeared behind Naruto. Blonde and blue-eyed, handsome with a resolute face, wearing a striking white imperial robe, with fiery red lines all over his body. This appearance alone can be called a dignified appearance. Warm, sunny chakra pervades the entire sealed space. It is as comfortable as a spring breeze, which makes people feel at ease, as if all problems can be solved with his arrival. It's hard to imagine such a sunny chakra in the ninja world. The figure fell gently, and the white royal robe was floating in the air, and 5 eye-catching characters came into view. 4th Hokage. 4th Hokage, Namikaze Minato. Whether it is friends, teachers or subordinates, everyone who knows 4th generation praises him. Even the enemies give it high praise. Anyone would pale in comparison to 4th Hokage. He's the most ninja quality man ever, with great ninjutsu, a clear mind, a lot of popularity, and most importantly, he's as handsome as me, Jiraiya. I have fought against him several times, and I once thought that no ninja could defeat him. I heard that he is the son of the prophecy that Konoha Sannin Jiraiya said, and he is called the savior by people. 4th Hokage. Shut up and do as he says. You'll be able to enjoy Konoha's yellow flash battle next, just for a split second, don't miss it. Konoha Shinobi. Could it be that you are the yellow flash of Konoha? In our rock shinobi village, it was warned that anyone who encounters the yellow flash of Konoha can immediately give up the mission and run away without penalty. What does this mean? I finally figured it out. Rock shinobi. The yellow hair and the body flicker technique. That must be the yellow flash. If so, it's time to run. Rock shinobi ninja. He is the yellow flash of Konoha. He is the youngest Hokage of Konoha village. He is the husband of the previous generation JinchuRiki Uzumaki Kushina. He is the teacher who taught Hitaki Kakashi, the first technician of Konoha. He is timid to kill enemies, and even gives abandoning the task without encountering a yellow flash is not considered a failure, the highest rating ever. Even the official formation book clearly stated, the yellow flash that cuts through the darkness of the ninja world is famous far and wide, and can even soar in time and space. He is also Naruto's father. Maybe as a husband, ninja, Hokage, and teacher are all perfect existences, but as a father, the 4th generation is not qualified. Ninetales. 4th generation looked at Naruto with gentle eyes, and then turned to Ninetales with sharp eyes. You want to seduce Naruto? Yongdame. Ninetales was overjoyed when he saw the 4th generation. He didn't hear what the 4th generation said clearly. He pointed at Naruto and said loudly to the 4th generation, "Hurry up and stop your son, don't let him tear the seal." 4th generation. Inside the sealed space. Naruto and 4th generation sat together with their eyes facing each other. Seeing that Naruto didn't really intend to tear the seal, Ninetales went to sleep. What happened just now was too frightening for the fox, and he felt that he was really going to suffer from a nervous breakdown. The first nervously broken-tailed beast ever. He who doesn't want to get involved in the 4th generation's family affairs has already hid in the deepest part of the sealed space. What the hell happened between you and Nine Tails? It's the first time I've seen him want to stay away from someone so much. Not even when Kushina was fine and tied him to a post. It's nothing, just played a few games with Kurama. Naruto didn't want to delve into this issue, so he said a few perfunctory words. Oh, the atmosphere fell silent for an instant. The two continued to stare at each other. Fourth generation looked at Naruto with some headaches. After all, he was a father for the first time and had no experience. He really didn't know how to communicate with his son. He didn't know if Naruto knew him, and he didn't know if Naruto heard Nine Tails clearly just now. As he said, he is an irresponsible father, and he couldn't say the sentence, "I am your father," stuck in his throat for a long time. This feeling is really uncomfortable. It would be better to have a big battle with Rock Shinobi. To be honest, Naruto doesn't know how to communicate with fourth generation, he doesn't like fourth generation as a father, and he doesn't have any ill feeling towards him. After all, Naruto came here alone since he was a child, and he has never lived with the fourth generation, so he has no relationship foundation. His impression of fourth generation is also limited to the plot of his previous life. He was very sunny, strong, and loved his wife very much. Then, it was gone. If it wasn't because he couldn't practice ninjutsu, he wouldn't have summoned the fourth generation out. So you did this to summon me? Or was the fourth generation the first to break the silence? You know me. Naruto nodded very simply and admitted, "Well, I sensed your anger a long time ago." Hearing this unfamiliar word, fourth generation was a little puzzled but didn't continue to ask. His time was running out. Then what's the purpose? Fourth generation asked cautiously after considering for a long time. Looking at the picture of fourth generation afraid of saying the wrong thing, Naruto felt a little funny, but he answered fourth generation truthfully. Learn ninjutsu. Learning ninjutsu. Fourth generation was stunned. He had many ideas, but he never thought that Naruto would summon him for this reason. If you want to learn ninjutsu, you can ask Lord third generation, someone will teach you, you don't need to specialize. No one in Konoha will teach me. Naruto interrupted fourth generation very roughly, his tone was slightly cold and mocking, and the good mood at the beginning was swept away. Who taught himself ninjutsu? Who will teach themselves ninjutsu? Is it the Konoha villager who has the most malice against him? Is it his loyal, half-bottled Hokage guards? Or his apprentice, Hitaki Kakashi, who almost fell into darkness and couldn't even save himself? Or Toad Sage Jiraiya, which never appeared? Is the hypocritical third Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen? Or the Konoha Lion Majesty Shimura Danzo hiding in the shadows? No, no one. He Naruto is a person from beginning to end. Fourth generation was stunned. How could that be? You do not believe. Naruto's right eyebrow was raised, and his blue eyes were fixed on fourth generation, as if he wanted to see into the other's heart. His half-closed eyes revealed a very complicated expression. Naruto, who knows the direction of the plot, has no resentment towards fourth generation, but if this kind of thing is put on a normal person, it would have been blackened. Even Naruto, who has an adult mind, is sometimes on the verge of eruption. Not everyone can be slapped on the left cheek and let the opponent slap the right cheek, and then laugh it off. Naruto suddenly proposed, "Do you want to see my past and everything I have experienced in these years?" Yongdame. Nine Tails suddenly cut into the topic. "If I were this brat, I would have destroyed this village full of malice anytime and anywhere. It's rare that he can endure until now. Probably because you cherish the village you protected with your life. On the surface, this stinky fox pretends that I don't interfere in your family affairs, but in fact, he has been lying on the side and listening to the wall." Fourth generation opened his mouth. Naruto's words made him feel ominous, and Nine Tails' words made him even more uneasy. Naruto's real situation seems to be very different from his original assumption. The desire in his heart still made him say the word, want. "Okay, since you want to see it, let me show you." Naruto stretched out his right hand, a ball of light flew out, exploded in the air, and the fluorescence scattered. The entire sealed space gradually distorted and changed into another scene. In the center of the scene is once a young Naruto. Chi already has the power to share and perceive emotions. Kakarot once sensed their battle on Namek by touching Krillin's head. In addition, this is the sealed space in Naruto's body, so he can seal it at will. It couldn't be easier to show the past by changing the skin of the space. When he was 1 year old, he was maliciously poured boiling water and almost couldn't speak. Although he was rescued, his vocal cords were still damaged, so that everyone who speaks now has a unique hoarseness. When he was 2 years old, he was hanged up by the aunt who took care of him because he went out with his left foot first. If it wasn't for third generation, coincidentally, passing by, Naruto might have been cold. Since weaning, Naruto's food has always been mixed with some strange things. Sand, weeds, and small stones are commonplace, and there are flies and cockroaches, and what's more disgusting is that there are. The ban of the third generation made the villagers no longer call Naruto by the demon fox, but that. The villagers were also ordered not to do anything to hurt Naruto, so ostracism, cold violence, and verbal violence followed one after another. Children also became full of hatred for Naruto because of adults, and the villagers even encouraged children to bully Naruto. It continued until none of the peers was Naruto's opponent. There is always malice, malice or malice. Naruto still faces life with a smile. The reason why he is strong is not only because he is Uzumaki Naruto, but also because he has an adult mind inside him. Not wanting to eat weird things anymore, Naruto started to live independently and cook by himself when he was 3 years old. No one in the village is willing to sell him anything, and Naruto keeps all the subsidies issued by the village because they cannot be spent. So Naruto built his own hut by himself, plowed the land by himself, fished and hunted by himself, made ponds to store food by himself, and supported himself by himself. Naruto fantasized about his future life, self-sufficiency and self-reliance. Until home destroyed again. No one knows where that humble and cozy hut is in Naruto's mind. No one knows Naruto's mood at the time. What they didn't know was that what they destroyed was not only Naruto's home, but also Naruto's heart. Naruto's malice from childhood was even 10 times that of Kushina back then. At least Kushina had Uzumaki Mito's care when she was a child, and Naruto had nothing around her. When he is hungry, he can only figure out his own way, and no one cares about whether he eats well. He cannot sleep all night in an environment full of malice, and no one cares whether he sleeps late. When the night is quiet, he hugs the bedding and weeps silently. No one cares about him whether he is tired or not. If he falls down, he can only get up on his own. No one cares about the pain of his fall. When he returns home exhausted after a day of practice, no one cares how much effort he has put in. No one, people. Because Naruto is just alone. In the end, even the only remaining identity as the son of the fourth generation was stripped away. In order to prevent revenge from the enemy and protect him, he concealed the identity of the son of Naruto fourth generation. They only care about whether Naruto is obedient, whether they are stable as a Jinchuriki, and whether Naruto will rebel against Konoha Shinobi. Treat it like a tool. It wasn't until Naruto grew up that an old man would appear in the house from time to time, pretending to be caring to win favor, and even sharing the few grilled fish. Anyway, it's just a child. Anyway, he won't remember. Anyway, he's only one person. Like giving alms. Hey, who would have thought that Naruto would remember everything from birth to the present? Naruto not only remembered but also clearly. Looking at those scenes, one scene after another flashed by. Fourth generation fell silent, and his face gradually became gloomy as time passed. Come out. The mood of the fourth generation at this moment is very complicated. He and his wife saved Naruto and the village with their lives, and sealed the Nine-Tails demon fox on Naruto. They thought that the villagers would regard Naruto as a hero, but things went against their wishes. Disgusted, even the problem of food and clothing is difficult to solve. Such a contrast is too unacceptable. The indifference of the villagers. Third generations in action. Even the Hokage guards and disciple Kakashi who depended on his life never appeared in Naruto's memory. Where did they go? Master third generation. Why is Sir third generation? Fourth generation tremblingly said with the last glimmer of hope. He trusted the third generation, just as he still handed over most of the power to the third generation after he became Hokage, just as he entrusted Naruto to the third generation as soon as he was dying. Because he trusts the third generation, because he respects the third generation. For this reason he entrusted Naruto to third generation. It's just that third generation seems to live up to fourth generation's expectations. The life Naruto lived as a child was far from what he imagined. The original paved road, why is it completely different? If Naruto knew what the fourth generation was thinking, he would have told him, because you are dead. It is an eternal truth that people take tea to cool down. Fourth generation may be an excellent ninja in all aspects, with outstanding talent, superb ninjutsu, sunny personality, unparalleled affinity, and perfect personality. But fourth generation, you don't understand people's hearts. People change, and so do people's hearts. In the face of interests and power, the third generation, who respect their elders, will become hypocritical, and the shadow guard, who are as close as brothers, will choose to be wise and protect themselves. Never try to test human nature, because human nature cannot stand the test. And Naruto's next sentence completely shattered fourth generation's last hope. I am JinchuRiki, the strongest JinchuRiki, Nine Tails JinchuRiki. It seems that there is no beginning and no end, and there is no answer, but it actually hits the point. Some straightforward but true. Being able to become a Hokage, fourth generation is naturally not a ZZ idiot, and immediately figured out the cause and effect. Compared with fourth generation's Tuogu, Naruto Nine Tails JinchuRiki's identity is the most important. As the village's strategic weapon and deterrent, the tail beast is the most important. Mastering the JinchuRiki is equivalent to mastering the tailed beast, and mastering the tailed beast is equivalent to mastering an army. That's why Danzo went out of his way to get Naruto into the roots as well. The reason why the fourth generation can become the fourth Hokage, in addition to its own reasons, there is also an important external factor that cannot be ignored. He is the husband of the former JinchuRiki Uzumaki Kushina. If Nine Tails and Naruto are separated, and Nine Tails JinchuRiki is not Naruto, then the identity of the son of Naruto fourth generation need not be concealed. The third generation will also abide by the commitment to the fourth generation to cultivate Naruto into a talent. Maybe Naruto's childhood will become like the original fourth generation envisioned, enjoying the treatment of heroes. Happy childhood. Regrettably, the temptation of Nine Tails is too great. When a village falls into the vicious circle of power struggle, it is not far from destruction. As Orochimaru said, decaying villages and rotten leaves are better destroyed. As long as there are leaves dancing, fire will burn. The shadow of the fire will illuminate the village and cause new leaves to sprout. It seems logical, but it doesn't make sense. Fire will only set the tree on fire and will not bring new life. The shadow of the fire will shine on the village and burn it up. This is the correct follow-up. Only when the rotten tree collapses and is completely destroyed and turned into nourishment can a new life be born. I'm sorry, Naruto, I don't know. Fourth generation looked at Naruto with unconcealable guilt. His eyes flickered, and he couldn't look directly at Naruto's same blue eyes as himself. It's okay, I'm used to it, Naruto said lightly, as if talking about other people's affairs. And getting used to this sentence almost made the fourth generation go berserk. Distress and guilt intertwined and mixed together. This is his child, the only blood between him and Kushina, and it's the one that places all of Kushina's hopes. To be trampled like this. If Kushina knew, she would definitely overturn the entire Konoha to vent her anger on Naruto. Chakra, which was originally as warm as spring in March in the fourth generation, has gradually become cold and gloomy. Fourth Hokage has always been dubbed the embodiment of sunshine, the most perfect Hokage, and the gentlest leader. That's according to Konoha Shinobi. Where the sun is more intense, the shadows are deeper. Fourth generation is an out-and-out murderer in the eyes of Rock Shinobi and Cloud Shinobi. The name of the Yellow Flash was not obtained by the humble gentleman of the fourth generation, but by the fearful ghostly body skills, bit by bit. Eliminate 50 Rock Shinobi Jonin in an instant, treat the enemy camp as if there is no one in it, come and go freely, and kill the entire ninja world with fear. The fourth generation has never been soft-hearted. He is a ninja, the only Hokage who was born as a civilian in all ages, and he climbed out of the sea of corpses and blood. And his sunshine has always been for his own people. Some people say that what Naruto experienced was just a little indifference, he didn't suffer any substantial harm, it was just the hypocrisy of a kid. This view is extremely ridiculous. Naruto is an orphan. His father died shortly after he was born. Naruto is considered by the villagers to be the incarnation of the demon fox. Almost everyone transfers their hatred of Nine Tails to Naruto. As many people were sacrificed in the Nine Tails Rebellion, as much hatred was transferred to Naruto, no, maybe more. People or group animals. In modern times, even if one person treats you coldly and violently, you can't stand it. What Naruto is facing is a whole village of people who are coldly violent to you. And exclusion and bullying. A village of Pua. Not even adults can bear it, let alone a child. Don't persuade others to be kind if you haven't suffered from others. Don't persuade others to forgive you if you haven't been sinned by others. People who say such sarcastic remarks are no different from, you only lost your life, and what she lost was love. Naruto felt that the chi on fourth generation's body seemed to have changed completely. It was no longer as warm as the midday sun, but instead brought a trace of unusual evil. Naruto couldn't describe that feeling. After seeing what he experienced, the breath of fourth generation became different. I can't say whether it is good or bad. The fourth generation is still the same fourth generation, but the anger has become different from before. Chi can reflect a person's state of mind. It is often mentioned in the world of Dragon Ball that evil aura refers to the other party's state of mind. Although this judgment method is very subjective. What can I do? Fourth generation closed his eyes in pain, and vaguely felt a cold liquid wriggling on his cheeks, and then slowly opened them after a long while. His eyes were full of confusion, and the unfocused pupils were like an empty shell. He felt that all the hard work, all the sustenance, and the huge gap between the ideal and the reality made it difficult for him to accept. Dim eyes looked at Naruto. Naruto, how can I make it up? Before he could finish speaking, he was interrupted angrily by Naruto. I don't need compensation. It is not you who should compensate. It's Konoha. No, I mean, what should I do? The fourth generation, who has a perfect personality, always looks clumsy in front of Naruto. Can't say fear, only that he wants to make up for Naruto. Naruto said firmly, teach me ninjutsu. This is why Naruto summoned the fourth generation. I may not be able to satisfy you with this. The fourth generation sighed softly, my time of existence is limited. If I take up too much time, I'm afraid Kushina won't have the chance to talk to you. Fourth generation said a little dejectedly. He finally managed to do something for Naruto, but in the end he didn't do anything, and his time can only be maintained 1 hour. Don't worry about this, Naruto said lightly. He was able to call out the fourth generation and naturally thought that the fourth generation would not be able to stay for long. After saying that, he walked up to the fourth generation, stretched out his right hand and spread it upwards. Milky white light immediately gathered in the palm of his hand, and gently pushed against the fourth generation. The white light enveloped the whole body of the fourth generation. That's Kai, Naruto's Kai. Naruto gave part of his body to the fourth generation. What kind of power is this? Fourth generation looked at his body in amazement, and he could feel that the time he could last was slowly increasing. Natural energy. No, although very similar, it is not natural energy. Naruto said lightly to fourth generation, this is chi. The fourth generation was very curious about the power system of chi, which is completely different from chakra, but seeing that Naruto had no intention of explaining it, they kept silent and did not ask further questions. The magic of the chi in the Dragon Ball is that although it is life energy, it can act on the soul. Frieza, whose body was cut off half of his body and was on the verge of death, suddenly became alive and well after receiving the chi distributed to him by Kakarot, and was even able to sneak attack Kakarot. Chi can act not only on the living, but also on the dead, and its effect on the dead is the same as that on the living. Chi is really amazing. Fourth generation, as the first civilian Hokage in the history of Konoha, not only has a wealth of ninjutsu theoretical knowledge, a solid foundation, but also superb ninjutsu skills. Whether it is ninjutsu, taijutsu or illusion, he has quite high attainments. The level of teaching can be described as quite good, stronger than Kakarot in the King of Kai era. The chakra attributes of the fourth generation are fire, wind, thunder, yin, and yang. It can be said that in addition to soil and water, the 7 chakra attributes are complete. Although the ninjutsu background is not as good as that of third Hokage, a doctor of ninjutsu, CA-level ninjutsu is also easy to come by, and he even created his own A-level Muji ninjutsu Rasengan. Having been handed down by the fourth generation, Naruto's strength has grown by leaps and bounds, not by leaps and bounds. With Naruto's current strength, it can grow a little bit, and 4th generation's ability is really good. Shadow Clone Technique. Along with a burst of white smoke rising, an existence exactly like Naruto appeared in front of him. Shadow Clone Technique. The B-level ninjutsu developed by second Hokage uses chakra to create physical clones. They can act and fight like the caster, and have a consciousness independent of the caster's body and a certain ability to resist blows. Memories and experiences go back to the body. Claims to have all the abilities of the main body except the total amount of chakra. As long as there is enough chakra, it can continue to exist without being fatally injured. No matter from which angle you look at it, Shadow Clone is quite a practical ninjutsu. Naruto looked at his clone with satisfaction, and the clone also looked at Naruto's body with a very satisfied look. It's a wonderful experience. The same will, the same thinking, different feelings and experiences. It's amazing and fun. For most ninjas, Shadow Clone Technique is an auxiliary ninjutsu, mostly used to confuse enemies and spy on intelligence. Senju Tobirama developed this ninjutsu for spy warfare. Because it needs to consume a certain amount of chakra on the body, and because the clone is too fragile, it is generally difficult for Shadow Clone to form combat power. But for Naruto, the meaning of Shadow Clone is completely different. In Naruto's view, Shadow Clone is the biggest improvement for a physical ninja like Naruto. The setting that it will not disappear as long as it is not fatally injured is simply too strong. The strongest point of phantom ninjas lies in their unpredictable illusions, and the strongest point of ninjutsu ninjas lies in their powerful ninjutsu. The power that these Shadow Clone can inherit is limited. The physical ninja is different. The strongest part of the physical ninja is his body, and Shadow Clone can perfectly copy the body of the physical ninja. How scary do you think it is? Just imagine, in the battle between Kakarot and Raditz, if Raditz is facing several Kakarats. Even if they can be knocked down with one blow, Raditz wants to defeat Kakarot. It also takes a lot of work. Raditz's combat power at that time was more than 3 times that of Kakarot. After learning Shadow Clone, Naruto's combat effectiveness can be doubled at least. It is simply a trick tailor-made for the current Naruto, a physical ninja. A few beings who can beat 9 tails with bare hands. Thank you, Banderu, for a reward of 100 starting coins. Why did hundreds of characters suddenly disappear in the small black house? If Shadow Clone Technique can increase Naruto's overall combat power from 1000 to 2000, then the next ninjutsu can increase Naruto's combat power to more than 3000. That is Naruto's signature ninjutsu in the original space-time. Multiple Shadow Clone Technique. Naruto's main body was unhurried, and he punched his clone, and the clone immediately crossed his hands to block. There was only a sound of dong. The fist of the main body collided with the clone and made a dull sound, and the wind of the fist blew the surrounding leaves everywhere. With a bang, the avatar couldn't bear the damage caused by the fist and disappeared into a puff of smoke. Part of the separated chakra returned to Naruto's body, and part disappeared into the air. Naruto closed his eyes and felt the memory obtained from the clone. Then Naruto opened his eyes and looked indifferently at his right elbow, which was where the avatar parried the main body's fist. A little pain. Obviously there is no injury on it, but Naruto feels a dull pain. Not real pain, but the pain of memory. The only downside to Shadow Clone Technique. Negative mental states such as the avatar being killed, fatigue, etc. will return to the main body when the avatar disappears and chakra returns. That's why Naruto felt pain even though he didn't have any injuries. Naruto frowned, immediately seeing a problem with this technique. This kind of pain usually seems to be nothing, but if it suddenly hurts like this during the battle, something will go wrong. Sometimes a distraction in combat can be a fatal opening. If you want to master the Shadow Clone Technique perfectly, you must overcome this shortcoming. At the very least, even if the avatar dies by self-destruct, the main body must ignore the painful memory caused by self-detonation. The multiple Shadow Clone Technique that Naruto will learn next expands this feature even more. Multiple Shadow Clone Technique is an advanced version of Shadow Clone Technique, or an enhanced version with unlimited enhancements. As long as you have enough chakra, you can theoretically create countless clones. It is not impossible to blow out 100,000 in one breath like Brother Monkey. However, this technique has the same flaws as Shadow Clone. One is consumption. The consumption of multiple shadow clone techniques is dozens or even hundreds of times that of shadow clone. The consequence of a little careless forcible avatar is that chakra is seriously overdrawn, and the opponent may fall down before he has made much effort. The second is spirit. If shadow clone is killed, the negative impact will follow. If multiple shadow clone techniques are flattened by the opponent's large-scale ninjutsu, the debuff return to the body is unimaginable. It is precisely because of these two shortcomings that the multiple shadow clone technique is listed as an A-level forbidden technique by second Hokage Senju Tobirama. If the performer is overconfident and uses it improperly, he will hurt himself if he is a little careless. This is why Naruto wanted to learn this technique at the beginning, and the fourth generation strongly opposed it. He is afraid of Naruto getting hurt. However, the opposition was invalid, and the fourth generation's opposition could not stop Naruto's practice. Under Naruto's insistence, the fourth generation taught him the A-level forbidden technique. Having said so many disadvantages, the benefits of multiple shadow clone technique are very obvious. Not only the improvement in combat power, but also the speed of cultivation. Although the practice of the clone cannot bring about a substantial improvement in physical fitness, due to the feature that the memory of the clone can return to the original body, the practice of shadow clone can accumulate experience. It can be understood that the practice of shadow clone is equivalent to the proficiency of hanging up. If 100 shadow clones practice the same ninjutsu, it is equivalent to a 100-fold increase in proficiency. It's almost like hanging up. No, this is cheating. Still blatantly driving. No more faces. As for the problem of the high consumption of dividing multiple clones, it is not a problem at all in front of Naruto. How big is the chakra inside Naruto? He didn't even calculate it himself. If the Jonin level chakra is described by a glass of water, even if the 9 tails in the body are not included, Naruto's chakra is like a swimming pool of water. While others are still calculating how much chakra is needed for AC level ninjutsu, Naruto can already play A level ninjutsu casually. Whoever hurts the one in the left hand, whoever repairs the dam, and the one in the right hand is stuck, so it's stuck. It doesn't matter if you hit well or not, the main thing is to draw Ichiraku. Well, I'm just playing. And because of the 9 tails in his body, Naruto's resilience can only be described as terrifying. As long as it is not an irreversible injury, Naruto only needs to sleep to recover. People are still dying with hanging bottles there, Naruto can already dance on the grave. With Naruto's physical fitness and recovery speed, he can completely control multiple shadow clone techniques. If the shadow clone technique is specially created for taijutsu ninja, then the multiple shadow clone technique is a plug-in technique specially developed for Naruto. Several beings who could beat 9 tails with bare hands advanced to hundreds of beings who could beat 9 tails with bare hands. 9 tails means Ganlinliang. Naruto put the index and middle fingers of his left and right hands together, and then made a cross with his hands, doing Renshi-ju. Sinking into Dantian, he roared. Multiple shadow clone technique. Bang, 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 bang. There was a series of sounds like blasting cannons, and hundreds of Naruto figures appeared in the grove. Everyone. Naruto cleared his throat, and under the eyes of hundreds of clones, Naruto bowed towards the position of his clone. Next, we have to work hard for everyone. For our common goals, for our common purpose, for our great ideals. Please, everyone. Perhaps Naruto is the first and only ninja to thank his clone. The main body and the avatar have the same thinking and the same memory. Of course they understand what ontology said. Don't worry, just leave it to us. The avatars all said loudly, with confident smiles on their faces. Looking at the hundreds of clones, Naruto also smiled. Very good, very energetic. Ontology, you just need to live well and work hard to become stronger. We'll do the rest. What doesn't kill us makes us stronger. For our common goal, for our great ideal. Ula. Ola. XN. Naruto. Then everyone, let's disband. Spread. With a loud shout, hundreds of clones came out one by one and disappeared in all directions, until only Naruto remained in the vast grove. Except for Naruto, no one knows what these clones are going to do, where they disappear and what they leave behind. Twisting his neck, Naruto made a series of sounds like, kaba, kaba, fried beans, and Naruto silently put on his back the exclusive tortoise shell that has been multiplied many times. Started the boring basic training day after day and year after year. Continue to practice. Konoha 53 Autumn. Grandpa third generation told me that I will go to ninja school tomorrow. Grandpa third generation said that there are many, many children in ninja school. I can find real friends there. I am really looking forward to it. Grandpa third generation was right, I made friends at the ninja school. Although many children don't like me and don't want to play with me, only she doesn't dislike me. Her name is Hyuga Hinata, she is very cute and gentle. Sure enough, there is nothing wrong with listening to the words of Grandpa third generation. I'm so happy to have made friends, it's such a meaningful day. Grandpa third generation came to see me again today, I am very happy. Konoha 10.10.54. Grandpa third generation hasn't come to see me for a week, is it because Naruto is not good? Today is my birthday, and Grandpa third generation prepared a big cake for me. This is the first time I have tasted cake, and I only heard about it from other children before. It's really sweet, but such a delicious thing can't be eaten in one sitting, I want to keep it and eat it slowly. The cake was spoiled. Grandpa third generation told me that the cake cannot be stored for too long. If you want to keep it for a longer time, you need a refrigerator, but I can't afford a refrigerator. It's a pity, but Grandpa third generation said that he will bring me a cake next year, so I am really looking forward to it. Konoha 55 years, summer. Third generation Grandpa. The whole diary records some daily trivial things, sometimes there is only one sentence, sometimes it is just one thing. At first glance, most of them are journals with no practical meaning, recording the joys, sorrows and joys of a child. The third generation is the most mentioned in it. At least 60% of the content in the diary mentioned the third generation, and more than 50% of the content mentioned listening to the third generation, and 30% mentioned missing the third generation. If you just look at the contents of the diary, this is a record of a lonely kid longing for family affection and becoming dependent on someone. If you only look at the diary. Third Hokage nodded in satisfaction, gently closed Naruto's diary, and tiptoedly put the diary back into the drawer where it was originally. Looking at Naruto in his sleep, his eyes are full of kindness. Then cast the body flicker technique, disappearing in place without leaving a trace. Only Naruto, who had fallen asleep with a trace of crystal liquid flowing from the corner of his mouth, was left. Quiet. Not long after, the figure of third generation reappeared, looked at Naruto who was still asleep, nodded in satisfaction, and disappeared again. Only this time, at the moment he just left the hut, Naruto suddenly opened his eyes, sat up and looked at the place where third generation left, watching him disappear. Whether it's Anbu's monitoring, crystal ball technique spying, or his own infiltration. From the beginning to the end, the third generation was in Naruto's sight. As a child who grew up under surveillance, Naruto has a strong anti-reconnaissance ability. Malicious perception plus breath perception, no one can hide from Naruto's detection. Nobody. Every move of the third generation is under the watchful eye of Naruto. In terms of detection methods and scope, even the Hyuga family's blind eyes are slightly inferior to the current Naruto. Looking at the drawer where the diary was not far away, Naruto couldn't help but sneer, his smile was full of sarcasm and mockery. Serious people who keep a diary. He had already guessed that the third generation would come. A prediction was made in advance. He prepared 10 different versions of the same thing. The purpose is to let the third generation see it at different times and in different places. The contents of the diary are also completely written by Naruto. Very deliberate and deliberate, so deliberate that I don't even want to face it. I almost write on my face that I like third generation grandpa the most. If it was written by another Konoha shinobi writer, third generation would definitely be suspicious. But Naruto is different, it is precisely these intentions that make third generation feel more real. Because Naruto is only 8 years old. An orphan who lost all his relatives and was squeezed out by the whole village and villagers, why would he not like the only old man who is willing to be close to him? Naruto is just a child, what bad thoughts can an 8-year-old have? It's just trying to destroy Konoha. This wave of third generation is on the 1st floor, and Naruto is on the 5th floor. Is it okay to go to such lengths to calculate an old man? Is this interesting? The answer is, of course there are. It was you who wanted to play, and you started it first. If you want to play, then keep playing to the end. How interesting. It is worth mentioning that everything that the third generation does is clearly seen by the fourth generation in Naruto. Then the aura on fourth generation changed again. Naruto-kun, I trouble you to send me back every day. In front of the gate of Hyuga's house, Hinata said in a voice as thin as a gossamer, not much bigger than a mosquito, and kept playing with the corner of her clothes with a reddish face. In the ninja school, Naruto goes to and from school normally. He never arrives late or leaves early. He only picks up Hinata on time, and basically has no sense of presence. Because it is Naruto, the teacher usually ignores him selectively, based on the mentality that more things are worse than less things. As for Naruto himself, he doesn't take the initiative to provoke right and wrong, nor is he grandstanding, just like a little transparent boy with the appearance of a good baby. Over time, the students got used to this Naruto. Coupled with Naruto's character of not causing trouble but not being afraid of trouble, it also deters many people who are looking for trouble. The main reason is that Naruto's eyes are too evil, not to mention the students of the ninja school, even the teachers of the school can't stand Naruto's gaze. With the combination of chi and Nine Tails chakra, Naruto can make the other party lose the courage to resist with just his own momentum, so there is no need to find fault. Even the name, Uzumaki Naruto, once became a taboo topic, and everyone would subconsciously avoid it. So much so that Naruto's sense of existence is comparable to a certain small sunglasses. I want to stay with Hinata for a while longer. Naruto smiled and patted Hinata's head lightly, eyes full of doting. Don't you like it? B.I.U. Miss Hinata felt like she had been hit by an arrow in her heart, and only the 5 words, I want to accompany Hinata, echoed in her whole brain. So much so that Naruto's questioning was not heard clearly. Naruto-kun said he wants to accompany me. Hinata's small face instantly turned red, like a ripe apple, and puffs of white smoke rose from her forehead. Naruto-kun, me. Just when Hinata finally plucked up the courage to say something to Naruto, a slightly cold voice intervened. Miss, what are you doing standing at the door? It was a boy with the same eyes as Hinata, with a handsome face and waist-length hair, who looked at Hinata with a sarcastic look. It's time to go home, the patriarch was looking for you just now. It's Neji, big brother. Hinata froze like a deflated ball. Just when Naruto was about to leave, he was stopped. Please wait a moment. Turning around, I found that it was the brother Hyuga with long hair reaching his waist. I've heard of you, Uzumaki Naruto. Didn't expect me to be quite famous. Naruto was a little puzzled. He never took the initiative to make troubles. How could he be more famous than the original one who was doing pranks all day long? Even the senior in the first year of high school has heard of his name. Hyuga Neji, the branch house of the Hyuga clan. Hinata's father Hyuga Hiyashi's twin brother Hyuga Hazashi's child, strictly speaking, Hinata's half-cousin. Because his father was born later than Hyuga Hiyashi, he was decided to become a branch house, and his life was controlled by the family. In the end, in order to protect his elder brother and fulfill his duties as a branch house, he committed suicide and died. If Naruto and Hinata get married in the future, then Neji will be Naruto's uncle. Neji crossed his hands in front of his chest and planned to look down on Naruto, but found that he was half a head shorter than Naruto, silently took half a step back, and stood on the back steps, with his nostrils facing Naruto, his face proudly looking down at Naruto. Stay away from Miss Hinata. Miss Hyuga is not something you can approach. Because of the adequate nutrition, Naruto's stature has grown very fast, and he is a block taller than Neji. Naruto looked him up and down. Oh see, is there anything else? Neji, why is it different from what you expected? Shouldn't the normal situation be that the other party is not convinced, and then he takes advantage of the situation to teach the other party a lesson? In the end, he said a few harsh words in a fit of incompetence and fury. What about 30 years in Hidong and 40 years in Hexi? Don't you bully young people who are poor? My fist is hard, you come here for me. Are you so cowardly? The tail of the crane is the tail of the crane. The guy who was abandoned by fate. Don't let me see you again next time. Okay. The next day, Naruto sent Hinata to the gate of the Hyuga clan as usual. Neji, do you think my words are deaf? The two watched Hinata enter the gate of Hyuga's house with a tacit understanding. Just as Neji was about to say something, his eyes blurred suddenly, a strong wind blew, he felt a pain in his neck, and then he didn't know anything. Looking at Neji lying on the ground, Naruto spread his arms and shrugged. As long as you are dizzy, you can't see me. Third day. Naruto sent Hinata back home as usual. It's a shame that I fell asleep outside the door yesterday because I was too tired from practicing. You must teach this brat a lesson this time. The moment Hinata walks through the gate, Neji fainted again. Fourth day. It's too embarrassing. I fell asleep for 2 consecutive days. This time I want to say anything. Neji, dizzy. Fifth day. Clever Neji finally realized something was wrong. So this time Neji is going to preemptively focus on the fingertips of chakra, see my 8 trigrams. Before he could make a move, he lay on the ground for another night. Sixth day. Neji, before you finished your words, you lay on the ground for another night. The 7th day. Neji fell to the ground, lay dead all night. A month later, the tormented Neji, who was about to go crazy, was the first to say when he saw Naruto, "Stop." Seeing that Naruto didn't intend to stun him again this time, Neji secretly heaved a sigh of relief, still looked at Naruto with a cool look on his face and said, "Why did you do this?" Unexpectedly, Naruto replied seriously, "You said it, I can't let you see me. If you are dizzy, you can't see me. You must be honest. Is this a question of integrity?" Neji was a little crazy, looked at Naruto solemnly and asked, "Why are you so strong even though you are the tail of the crane? Do you have any misunderstanding about the term crane tail?" Naruto's theoretical performance is indeed a mess, but the actual combat performance is super. Everyone in the class who matched with him, except for Hinata, was beaten by him without exception. Especially those tender girls, who can cry for a long time after being punched. This kind of record can't be said that he is the tail of the crane anyway. However, Neji didn't listen at all, and yelled at Naruto on his own, "Do you also want to resist fate? Impossible, fate has been decided since the moment you were born, and there must be Yazi at the end of the crane." Quote. Just before Neji accidentally injured a member of the Hyuga clan during sparring, and was punished by the clan using the caged bird technique. The physical pain and the experience during this period made him mentally collapse. Want to know? If you want to know, come find me at Konoha number 99 training ground before sunset tomorrow. Just as Neji was about to speak, he suddenly felt a pain in his stamina, and the familiar feeling struck again, and he turned his eyes and didn't know anything. He opened his mouth and closed his mouth at the end of the crane. The first time it was for the sake of the uncle, but the second time Naruto was not polite, so today Neji still spent at the gate of Hyuga's house. The next day Neji came to the training ground number 99 early in the morning. However, he didn't find any trace of Naruto. In the whole training ground, there was only a white figure sweating not far away, doing extremely boring basic training. Squats, jump rope, push-ups and punches. After finishing one group and another group, repeating the movements without stopping. Tch, Neji looked at the sweating figure not far away, and said with a sneer, "No matter how long you practice like that, you can't change your destiny." I don't know whether to laugh at the other party or at myself. Neji recognized the owner of that figure. It was Lilac, a classmate in his class. Without ninjutsu and genjutsu talents, he is doomed to be a mediocre person who cannot become a ninja. A poor fellow who was abandoned by fate like him. Do you think he's wasting his time? Naruto's voice suddenly sounded behind Neji, startling Neji. When Neji was startled, as a white-eyed blood follower, he didn't know when he was approached by someone. Naruto walked to Neji's side and said lightly, "Since you first came here." Mind reading. I don't know how to read minds, but your thoughts are too simple, it's all written on your face. I believe in you, Ghost. It doesn't matter whether you believe it or not, the important thing is. Naruto said and turned his gaze to Shaoli not far away. What do you think of him? Crane tail. Neji looked at the figure in the training ground with contempt. Only ordinary people can do that kind of practice. What is a crane tail? What is a mortal? What is a genius? Naruto asked 3 questions in a row, and before Neji could answer, he said to himself, "It seems that you don't like him very much." Neji shook his head. He doesn't have the talent to be a ninja, unlike us. Hey, I'm at it now. Naruto smiled lightly and shook his head. Why don't we make a bet? Then Naruto held out a finger to Neji and waved it in front of Neji. 1 month, I will teach that guy myself. After a month, I was able to get him past you. What? You're kidding. Neji denied it without thinking, it's impossible. What a joke to spend a month teaching a commoner who was unable to use ninjutsu and illusion and was abandoned by fate to surpass himself as a genius. Even if you are the strongest doctor of ninjutsu, Master Hokage 3rd generation, you can't do it. What? Is Hyuga Neji, who considers himself a genius, afraid? Afraid that the other party will surpass you within a month? It's a bet. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.